Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake, help you create something awesome today. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a YouTube analytics deep dive. I hope you guys are actually really interested in this because I'm going to be showing you some things that I've noticed going on in YouTube that you may not be aware of, that I found like over the course of like 2023. I know we've just started the year, but I've already noticed some anomalies and what you might, whoops. But yeah, I've noticed some anomalies or what you might even call aberrations when it comes to YouTube, and that has to do a lot with suggested videos. There's a lot to break down here, but there are some changes when it comes to YouTube Live, YouTube Shorts, and all these different things. And when you add them all together, you start to notice some changes and some patterns. So I'm going to talk about that, but I'm also going to help a lot of you with your YouTube analytics because I know a lot of you just don't understand YouTube analytics in general. And I know that's something that a lot of you we've talked about in the past. So what I think will be really helpful for a lot of people is just being able to actually see, hey, how do these analytics work? Learning more things about how you can take advantage of using real-time analytics to understand what's going on with your content, and then what content is getting more reach, more exposure, and why, and understanding the traffic sources. Because a lot of this, like when you realize, wait a minute, why is my older content all of a sudden getting more reach or it's getting more views? And it's not necessarily that YouTube is pushing something. I don't like the language when we say, oh, YouTube's pushing or YouTube's promoting my content. It's much more about surfacing content, and it's about response. And it's like, hey, people are clicking on this. Why? Where are people seeing this content? Why? So it's about really understanding why something is happening and analyzing that. But when you really are not familiar like with the data, and when you don't know how to understand the data, how to understand advanced mode, where views are coming from, what metrics you should be looking at. Hey, why is it, Roberto, that you like to look at a 90-day period? Why is it you like to do 90-day analytics and then try to find patterns and trends in 90-day analytics? Why not the standard 28? So on and so forth. There's a lot that if you understand this, if you know better, you can do better when it comes to the content. So very much when you know better, you can do better. And the reason I do analytics deep dives like this, we're probably going to go for maybe 1.5 to 2 hours. And the reason I do analytics deep dives like this is I think it's some of the most comprehensive and transparent information you'll get on YouTube. And I do it much in a training or workshop style. So for those of you who are watching the replay of this, one, I will try to do better about timestamps. But if we have any volunteers who want to do the timestamps for me, please do the timestamps, and then I can like pin that comment and we can have them. But something I want to show all of you, and I want you guys to look at this more often yourself, is I want you to go into your YouTube analytics itself, and I want you to start looking at it a little bit differently. For one thing, start looking at your top content in a period and look at it over the last 90 days, and then start to recognize what some of these things might have in common. And I noticed a pattern that I'm going to reveal, and I'm not going to keep too many of you waiting on what's one of the big changes. So there are several big changes that are coming to YouTube in general. And we've talked about this before on the live stream. YouTube, as many of you already probably have heard, it's been leaked as of last year. YouTube is making heavy investments into live streaming and podcasting. And that was like something that was announced last year, but it's coming much more into fruition this year. And there are a lot of announcements around YouTube's live streaming product, a new advertiser format for YouTube and Google revolving around that. I know a lot of hype and focus has been YouTube Shorts, YouTube Shorts, YouTube Shorts. But a lot of you have not been looking at what is making YouTube money. A lot of you have not, um, noticed, hey, well, what's making YouTube money? And a lot of what's making YouTube money right now that's being overlooked is live streaming and super chats. And I'll give you a primary example. I just got this wonderful super chat from Nick Hammond, who I've been interacting with a lot over in Twitter. Make sure you guys are following me over in Twitter at Roberto Blake. I'm at Roberto Blake everywhere now. And Nick Hammond just gave me a $20 super chat and says, appreciate you going under the hood in all the many ways you do it, from analytics to Twitter and your new book and everything in between. Thank you. And the book he's talking about, everybody, is my book, Create Something Awesome, How Creators Are Profiting from Their Passion in the Creator Economy. It's linked in the description. You can buy it on Amazon. You can order it into your local Barnes & Noble. For those of you who might be super broke, you can have it come into your local library, or you can get it for free with the Libby app from your local library. So you can check out the book. But yeah, Nick is a great example here. And same thing for this website I'm going to show you called Playboard. The thing is, YouTube's super chats and the ability to monetize live streams is the best monetization opportunity that exists on YouTube. The best money-making opportunity on YouTube is not YouTube Shorts. It's not even regular YouTube videos. It's live streams. And that's what is a big part of this algorithm update. I want you all to see the money side so that you can understand what I am saying and what I'm talking about. I also want you to see these numbers from in terms of the most live stream views daily. And this is daily. The top live stream channels in YouTube are getting massive daily views. In terms of weekly views, it's pretty large. And a lot of these are also homegrown channels. You have I Show Speed, Emily D. Baker, good friend of mine, friend of the channel, who I've had the pleasure of talking with many times in person at these conferences. And look at most super chatted daily. Like, think about it. With Emily D. Baker, on just super chats, not even ad revenue, just super chats, not counting her YouTube Shorts channel that she made, not counting the YouTube ad revenue, just on super chats right now, Emily D. Baker is averaging over $2,373 estimated, could be higher, on super chats alone. That's one content creator. YouTube takes 30% of all super chats. You guys need to know that. So when you realize that YouTube and its moneymaker right now, it's huge moneymaker, and that on the replays of live streams, it gets to place multiple ads for its ad inventory, then you understand this is what is keeping people on YouTube the longest is live streams, podcast, streaming debates, commentary streams, panels. This format is making YouTube a lot of money, and it's becoming YouTube is becoming the town square for conversations with live streaming. And I think that this is really powerful and important. And then when you realize that, it shouldn't shock any of you that if you've been a live streamer on YouTube and you go into your analytics, you might see that your very extreme long form content, like I have, and I've been monitoring this since January 1st, because I'll show you what happened is that YouTube's suggested algorithm in terms of content and in terms of reach. I'm going to show you something that happened. Look at what happened here. Look at this is like and this is why I view 90 days, because I'm going to show you guys exactly why I'm saying what I'm saying. Look at November. This is just for live. I'm glad YouTube separated this data. This is just live streams. I want you to see this. Here's my stuff with live streams all the way to the end of the year. Here is the end of December, and then here's YouTube. And this is with me doing nothing new. And I did one live stream that entire 90 days, by the way. Like one live stream that entire 90 days. Just one. And look at YouTube. This is how you know what's going on. Dan Tana says, makes total sense. It's simple math. Great stream. Thank you. But look at this change. This spike. I've only done one live stream. That cannot carry this spike, and it doesn't work that way. So I just want you to look at that. I'm going to go further back than 90 days. I'm going to go 365 days, and I want you to look at it now. This is how I know this is a change, because there's nothing I did that creates this outcome. This is purely algorithmic change. So you see that? That is a massive difference for doing nothing. And I want you to look at in the last 365 days, like what happened. And by the way, like you see all these spikes, I want you to look at, I'm going to show you just 2023. I'm going to show you something just with 2023. So what happened is content I had already made in 2022. This is new views for that content since 2023. And this video on sponsorship, I think, is maybe 30 days or less old. And look at that. And I want you to see where these live stream views started coming from. 90% suggested. That's purely algorithmic. And I'm going to zoom in just so you can see that a little bit better. That's purely algorithmic on YouTube's part. So when I said this, so you see, here it is. We're like a couple minutes in. Not clickbait, not clickbait. You can share the replay of this. You can share the screen. I have genuinely found and exposed a change that has happened since the beginning of 2023 regarding suggested videos traffic, the traffic all of you say you want, you know, you don't like search as much. Okay, I get it. And then look at what it's done for the views on these individual videos. And these are older videos. So this is older inventory of live streams, live stream replays that are being surfaced, suggested, and clicked on by viewers on YouTube, purely algorithmically. So that's something that I didn't have to do anything additional to benefit from, where the algorithm is surfacing my content, using it through suggested video traffic. And this is purely on live streams, not YouTube videos, not YouTube shorts, not YouTube posts, just live streams. So incorporating live, by the way, look at how it's performing with the viewership. The view durations are over an hour average view durations, and this is just 2023 data. Because remember, we used our timestamp here. We used our date range, rather. We used our date range purely 2023. So I want more of you to understand that live streaming does not hurt your YouTube channel. And in the 2023 YouTube algorithm, with the 2023 YouTube algorithm updates, YouTube is encouraging live streams, surfacing them, and it's a way to break through in suggested videos. And you really do have every opportunity to benefit and grow from live streams in YouTube. And my live streams were not performing like this before, by the way. It doesn't matter that I have this big channel or whatever. My live streams weren't performing like this. And those of you who have been consistent viewers of mine, you know this. You know that my streams were not performing like this. So this is, I've shown you and I've proven already that this is a recent phenomenon in 2020 with regard to YouTube and with regard to an algorithmic change in the suggested videos algorithm. And we've also seen, and I'll show you which, what the sweet spot is for videos, because Tech Rally, thank you for the $2 super chat. Is there a sweet spot for how long your stream is? It depends entirely on the content, the audience, and the niche that you're in. And I wouldn't think of it purely from a performance standpoint, but from an audience standpoint. So I would go with the audience on this, but I also would look at things from a revenue standpoint with regard to this, because you could strategically plan your live streams for more ad revenue. And I can teach you about that. You can plan them around ad revenue. You can plan them around sponsor plugs. And you can also plan it with regard to the idea of maximizing super chats. Because again, if we go to Playboard, and if we look at some of the data they have there, and this is a fascinating website, by the way. But if you look at the most super chatted daily and weekly, let's look at most super chatted weekly. So there's Emily D. Baker, there's Tim Cass. So the most weekly top 5 super chatted, and let's see if we just go most super chatted. Let's look here. So like if we look at these numbers and we look at like the top like 20 or so, like if you look at the top five super chatters for the week pulling like 10K a week. Look at Ricada Law. I think Ricada Law is mostly on Rumble these days. Fresh and Fit, I Show Speed. So like the top like 15 or 20 people are pulling close to like 5K a week, all the way up to 10K a week. So that just goes to show you that when it comes to super chats, the money's there. Like this is really good money. And also look at the size of audience in terms of the number of people willing to do super chats. So I wouldn't optimize entirely live streams around the idea of YouTube performance and views. Views are nice, but that revenue, if you're trying to be a full-time content creator, and a lot of you want to be full-time content creators, more of you really could stand to look at optimizing. Like reach and views are important. Relationship with your audience is probably much more important, and also your reputation. Live streams deepen your relationship with your audience, but they're also, like I told you, and I proved this too, by the way, like live streams are one of the most significant relationship building opportunities with your audience, but they're also one of the most significant revenue generating opportunities with your audience. So this one is just regular revenue data. This one's not exclusive to live streams. So the content side of that, let's go to click on this. So average view duration. Let me show you something with this video in particular, because I know a lot of you do care about views. This video, since it was published, has had this surge in views that, again, I'm not responsible for from a since it was published. I did not algorithmically do something to make this video long-term perform better. And what the change happened is, you can see this change. This is algorithm. This is not me. This is algorithmic. Now, it did very well for a live stream, but look at what happened. It's the suggested videos traffic. And look at the real-time data. It's also gotten hundreds of views. And this video is older. This video is like 100 days plus old. This video is 127 days old. This video is 127 days old. Now, it's still evergreen. It's still relevant. It's still a good video. But look at it, like the trickle, and then boom, pop. Like trickle. And then here's where the pop happens. The pop happens at the end of the year. And that's kind of my point here, is this is new relative to the new year 2023. That's what I'm saying in terms of a massive algorithm change here to replays and to live streaming content. Now, I want to show you why this video is a good replay candidate for suggested, and what makes this a very good, because we can learn from this video about what makes a good suggested video candidate. And I want you to understand something. This video only has an average percentage viewed of 25%. So it has a retention rate of 25%. However, 25% of a very long video, because this video is 4 hours, it's 25% of a 4-hour video. Now, what I believe, this is what I believe. I believe that this puts it in the top 1% of videos of its own length, that has this average view duration and this percentage retained. So that means, one, I think there are a minimum of extremely long videos on YouTube that are longer than 2 hours. So that's one of the first things to understand. I believe there is a very low inventory of extreme long form content on YouTube. And I believe that when there's longer content on YouTube, that there's less of it made, because it is more difficult to make extended long form content. Now, what I think supports this outside my own use case and data is I want to suggest that you think about videos like James Johnny's videos, James Johnny and his documentary style videos, Magnates Media's videos, and like CoffeeZilla's videos. These are videos that are like usually more than 30 to 45 minutes long. 30 to 45 minutes long. I also want you to think about back in the day with Shane Dawson and his documentaries, and then D'Angelo Wallace's commentary, and then look at all the commentary and social commentary channels that are getting so many views every day. And what do they all have in common? They keep people on YouTube for a very, very long time. Look at LawTube, look at Emily D. Baker, look at Ricada Law, look at Legal Bites, look at all of the live stream lawyers. It's been keeping people on YouTube longer, and that gives YouTube a monopoly in terms of attention and a monopoly in certain ad categories. It's all what's in YouTube's best interest. And what I want to teach you is that if you want to succeed on YouTube, the content you make should serve an audience, but should also prove that it can serve YouTube's interest as a company and as a platform. And so when a video can keep the average viewer on a video for an hour because it's really good information, it's delivered in a good way, and when there's interaction and engagement, live stream replays, like things like this, it's like there is a value to it. And YouTube is rewarding this hyper long form content. I know the obsession lately has been YouTube Shorts, but I'm showing you data, and I'm showing you that this won in the suggested videos algorithm. And I'm also showing you that it's not entirely unique, because that was one video. Let's pick another video out of the live streams here that is performing like this. This video exposing all my data, deep dive. Okay. First of all, this is great. It got me 400 plus subscribers. It did decent on estimated revenue, but and then boom, this is another video of mine. And it's another 100-day plus video. And look at when it spikes. It spikes right around the end of the year, going into January, into the new year, like we said. And what's happening in real time right now, YouTube's promoting this video in real time. In the last 48 hours, this video is surging again. This video in 48 hours this video is over 100 days old. And the last 48 hours, YouTube has surfaced this to where it's gotten another 14,000 views for no reason. And it's at 95% suggested video traffic. That is purely the YouTube algorithm. That's only the YouTube algorithm. I think we all agree on that, right? In the chat, tell me if you understand what I'm talking about here, and that this is purely algorithmic traffic, and that this is proving how we break down YouTube suggested going forward. So this is meta. This is like breaking down live stream stats or live stream. By the way, I know that big YouTubers obsess over and still like click-through rate. No, like click-through rate on this many impressions, this optionality of impressions, an abysmal click-through rate still gets you a ton of views. So the obsession with click-through rate, that's not the data and the stat that I'm looking for anymore. I'd like click-through rate to improve. I no longer care about click-through rate. You've heard it here first. I no longer care about click-through rate. I care about cumulative watch time hours, total watch time hours, and I care about average view durations, and I care about relative retention, which I'm going to teach you about relative retention here in a minute. So I'm going to teach you a stat that no one talks about. I'm teaching you about relative retention and why the length of your videos matter. But let me go to this super chat real quick. We have a great one here. Thank you from Exploring Canada for the $15 Canadian. Thank you for being a student of data, Roberto, and sharing the details with us. Appreciate you, Roberto. Thank you. I appreciate you, Exploring Canada. And I appreciate everybody joining me on the live stream here. We have about 200 people live on the live stream here. But you know what we don't have? We don't have 200 likes on this video. We don't have 200 thumbs up on this video. So guess what? Right now, if you're watching this video, whether it's the replay or the live stream, I need you to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. You just smash the like button. We got 200 people here watching the stream. I need 200 likes on the video right now. So boom, please get that done. But let's go back to the data. Let's go back to the data here, because I want to talk about something here that I want to show you. I don't care about click-through rate anymore. I'm done with click-through rates. I do not care. I don't care what a big YouTuber says about click-through rate. I want more people to click on my videos. I want more people, but here's the thing. When you're getting 3 million impressions, it like an abysmal click-through rate is still 100,000 views. It's still 100,000 views. So why am I getting more impressions? YouTube is surfacing the video. And why does YouTube surface the video? What contributes to YouTube surfacing the video? YouTube talks about it itself. And YouTube has always said that something that helps surface your videos and something that helps get more impressions on a video. And where do impressions come from? Impressions, according to YouTube, are a result of how your videos perform. And the thing is, your content increases as a combination of your click-through rate and your video watch time. But here's the thing. We saw my click-through rate is abysmal. So if my click-through rate is abysmal, but we're getting 3 million impressions from YouTube recommending the content, and we got all this watch time, and we got these really high average view durations, what that tells me is raw watch time and average view durations is weighted heavier, at least now, not before now, but in the current YouTube meta, in the current YouTube algorithm, in the current YouTube updates, current 2023 YouTube algorithm. It seems to me to suggest that if the reach is increasing here, then the weighting of the average view duration relative to the length of the video and the retention relative to the length of the video is weighted disproportionately more heavily, and it's retroactive to old videos too. And while everyone is obsessed with YouTube Shorts, which is the extreme short form, here's my thing. Extreme short form has been proven to work. I'm not dunking on YouTube Shorts. Extreme short form and extreme long form, I think, are two of the best opportunities on YouTube right now. I think the opportunities exist in the extremes. And I think that from a content strategy standpoint and from a content farming standpoint, and this actually is a good plug for like right now. By the way, you guys should definitely be checking out StreamYard if you're not already. They are our sponsor for the YouTube channel. Link in the description down below for our friends over at StreamYard, our friends at Epidemic Sound, and our friends over at TuneBuddy. StreamYard has a great new feature. StreamYard actually lets you create YouTube clips and YouTube shorts of your videos directly in StreamYard, which is going to help you with manufacturing more content. So if you guys can take advantage of that, then you get to have the benefits of live streaming and the benefits of YouTube Shorts and the benefit of regular YouTube videos concurrently in your strategy. And now YouTube is clearly separating these and the weighting in the algorithm, because again, live streams aren't hurting my channel at all. In fact, I'm now getting a bunch of suggested traffic doing nothing from old inventory. And if they're doing that retroactively for old inventory, and also a recent video I did is getting this benefit too. But I want to show you what I mean by relative retention rates. So a lot of you have never gone to this graph. It's in your engagement on an individual video. And you've seen intros, you've seen spikes, you've seen all of that. But a lot of you have never clicked the see more button on this retention graph. And when you click the see more button, and it shows you audience retention, none of you have clicked this toggle here that says relative audience retention. So what retention here says is audience retention helps you see how often each moment of your video is being watched as a percentage of total views. Rewinding and rewatching can result in values higher than 100%. Relative audience retention shows you your video's ability to retain viewers during playback by comparing it to all YouTube videos of similar length. Read that last sentence. Relative audience retention shows your video's ability to retain viewers during playback by comparing it to all YouTube videos of similar length. Now, see, a lot of you, and it makes sense, you worry about the videos in your niche, you worry about this, you worry about that, but it hasn't occurred to a lot of you that YouTube categorizes videos and creates performance metrics for videos relative to the individual video length. Now watch this video. Above average for the beginning of the video, from the very beginning of the video, the retention is above average for videos of similar length. Then it dips to average, gets to below average, spikes back up to average, spikes back to above average, ends at high. So high completion rate on this video. And remember, this video has 100,000 views and it's a live stream replay that is over 100 days old. And YouTube started surging it in the last, since January, basically January 1st, since the beginning of the year. So when you look at it, that's a really powerful metric. And when I go and I even do this for a recent video that I did at the beginning of January, that now has almost 40,000 views. Again, above average, above average, above average, average view duration over an hour, average percentage viewed 35%. Again, relative to a 4-hour stream, that's absurdly high. And so when the performance is high compared to the length of the video, when it overperforms in its own category for length of the video, that's a secret with these live stream replays, but it's also true for regular videos that themselves are recordings that are also extreme long form. And by extreme long form, I mean recordings that are like interviews. I'm talking about panels, podcasts, debates, tutorials, documentary, like what CoffeeZilla and James Johnny do, video essay channels. These are going to very long videos that might be process videos. These are going to be extraordinarily powerful as a content strategy. And again, you saw it with your own eyes that this is purely algorithmic because it's coming from suggested videos. You can see its recommendations here. And what we learned about it was the click-through rate can be abysmal. It doesn't matter. The weight of where our performance is average view duration and watch time hours. And I've shown you this data on 2 videos so far. I'm going to show you it on a more recent, live stream video. And this is a video from January 8th. So about a month ago. So this is relatively new. This did very well. This got 35K views in about a month, 100 new subscribers, a little bit of ad revenue, not bad. But look at this. In the last, I'll show you about real-time analytics and how to use this to your advantage too. But look at this, suggested videos. It's 92% of its traffic is suggested videos. It's not search. It's purely algorithm, pure algorithm. That's what we're looking for. Suggested videos, pure algorithm, homepage, pure algorithm, right? And in the last 48 hours, it's gotten 5,000 views. But this is an old video. This is views I got for no reason, like for nothing I had to do extra. So again, your inventory, if you do live streaming, can only help you now. And I want to show you something. With this thing's click-through rate is not great. It's 1.9%. That's not this wonderful, amazing click-through rate. But again, look at the search. And again, look at the date. Look at where we're going. So this is all 2020. I'm sorry, 2023. This is all 2023. This is all relatively new. And I want to show you something, again, engagement. Oh, this is proving consistent. These absurdly long average view durations, are what's getting the job done here. And again, look at this average percentage viewed on hyper long form, extended long form. This video, I think, is a 4-hour video. And I'm not telling you to make 4-hour videos. That's just my thing. That's a Roberto thing. Making 2 to 4-hour live streams. 2 to 4-hour live streams are a Roberto Blake thing. You don't have to do that. But I'm showing you what YouTube is doing with that. And this is why also don't judge your videos off of what it gets in the first week, the first month, because again, a lot of my stuff, it got all of this extra reach 100 days later. That's the beauty of YouTube. You can get a video can pop 100 days after the fact, And you're seeing it now in real time, and I'm showing you this, right? So again, don't get self-conscious so much about your old inventory and start killing off old videos, because you can benefit from this long term. And when these videos are hitting suggested, nobody knows my channel is a 500K sub channel. That credibility is not helping me, and that's not what's helping me with this, because it's reaching people that I haven't reached before. Like this is finding people, and this one got some returning viewers, but it also got a lot of new viewers. And you notice its new viewership is growing, so it's now reaching new people, and that's really helpful. And when it reaches new people, that's how you're going to get subscribers. If you want to grow subscribers, you have to reach new people. Everyone's like, I want loyal subs, I want loyal subs. Your growth doesn't come from loyal subs unless your loyal subs share your video to people who aren't loyal subs yet. If your loyal subs are going out and recruiting 10, 20, 100 new people for you, then that's helpful. But YouTube algorithmically, you want this. You want all these people who aren't subscribed to you to be watching your videos and finding you. You want new people. New people become subscribers. That's what's the most helpful for the far majority of you. And like I said, when you look at the engagement here, it's this hour and a half average view duration that's really helping with this push in the suggested. So if we're talking about how do we beat the YouTube algorithm, how do you beat the YouTube algorithm in 2023? Well, when it comes to extreme long form and when it comes to live streams, we know it's about this average view duration. Now, for those of you who don't do live, this is also to encourage more of you specifically with live streams, but I'm going to show you on my like more or less one of my recent videos that's actually doing pretty well. I'll show you for like a regular video. Let's go with this one because this one's doing really well. This one's doing really well. This one obviously is not getting as much as my live streams, but where is its traffic coming from? It's coming from browse. Now, this is an example of a really good video. This is an example of the video. If I want to grow my YouTube channel, this is the answer. The answer is if I make 50 to 100 videos in a year that can pull this off, which the answer to getting 50, like if I want 50 videos to pull this off, then I have to publish 3 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, because then I have a better chance of making more videos like this. But this is a video that generated 1,000 subscribers for the channel, did really good on ad revenue, did really decent on views. And I'm going to show you why and how here in a minute. But where did it get its traffic? It's balanced. It got it from the homepage of YouTube, 25% search. That's pretty valid. Suggested videos, 10%. So this still did good as far as a regular YouTube video. So what happened with this video? This click-through rate is decent. Okay. Let's look at engagement. 6-minute average view duration. That's pretty nice. That's, it is what it is. But if we really look at this, and it did very well in the YouTube algorithm, you can see from here that did really well. Title, topic, thumbnail, timing, it did well. This video long-term will probably reach, by the end of the year, it'll probably get close to 100,000 views. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. But notice that notifications, bell, all that, none of that really did it for me. That didn't really help as much. And then most of the views or watch time came from non-subscribers. Returning viewers help, people who know me help, but really the growth comes from people who've never seen you before. And so it was about half and half, returning viewers versus unique viewers. So basically it's half and half, which is fine. That's actually pretty healthy. But this video is performing because of the YouTube homepage, not because of suggested. So your regular videos where they need to win to grow is in the YouTube homepage, I would say. And you can get some benefit from YouTube search as well, but it's really the homepage that's going to be the bread and butter for that. And that's where you want to weight your attention and interest with regular videos versus live streams. Now, I don't do a lot of YouTube shorts, but we can certainly look at that in analytics, and I'll show you, and I'll talk to you about some of my thoughts, and then we'll get into more, because this isn't over. We'll get into advanced analytics. We'll get into advanced analytics, and we'll get into, God, what do we call it? Sorry about that. I lost my train of thought there because I was reading one of your chats. We'll get into advanced analytics, and I'll get into real-time analytics because there's actually a secret sauce to real-time analytics as well. Do I still think word of mouth is powerful in the age we live in today? So do I think word of mouth is, I think it's actually more powerful because I think you can do something with the word of mouth. Because like I said, if you're a small YouTuber, the best thing for a lot of you, if you're small YouTubers, what would help most of you is if you got like some real loyal subscribers. Every time you upload a video, if they were sharing it with 10, 20 people, if you just had 100 people that always share your videos with like 10, 20 people consistently that don't know you, your channel would grow a lot more as a small YouTuber if you had people who would do that for you. Like, shout outs are not as powerful or as valid because the problem with shout outs is if the person shouting you out makes massively, massively superior content to yours, the audience doesn't go down a level in the quality that they expect. One of the things, because I know that I'm the guy who says like a little bit of quantity sometimes is more beneficial than quality. But I always talk about there's a standard and a threshold for quality, at least as far as audio, lighting, video production, editing, presence, performance, personality. There's a baseline of what is acceptable to people. And that's where getting good camera gear actually does matter. Now, you don't have to go as far as getting something like this. This is extreme. This is about 5,000. No, this is close to 6 or 7,000. Like, this is about somewhere between the neighborhood of like $5,000 to $7,000 worth of camera and lens and audio. You don't gotta go there. You don't gotta do that. If you just got a good camera, like the Sony ZV-1F for $500 that has a built-in 20 millimeter lens that goes to, I think, f2 or f2.8, you'll get a blurry background. You can get a $100 deity microphone, and that'd be more than good enough. You're up to $600. You can get decent light, a good, decent solo light, and a dome diffuser for about another $200, $300 total. You could spend about $1,000 to $1,200 lights, camera, audio, tripod, and you would have a setup that for the first 2 to 3 years of your career can create quality that mimics a YouTuber that has 100,000 subscribers, which means if for any reason that your videos got suggested next to a video from a 100K YouTube channel, or for some reason you got a shout out from a 100K YouTube channel that even as a smaller channel with like less than 10,000 subscribers, your videos would look like the quality that that audience expects. And that's basically how you dress for the job that you want. If you want the job of I'm a silver play button 100K YouTuber, and I did this pretty early actually, then it's good lights, good audio, good enough camera to have at least a little bit of a blurry background for separation and things like that. And then decent editing. You don't have to break the bank on your editing software. You can use DaVinci Resolve for free, and then you'd still be competitive. Or you can get Final Cut Pro, learn it, do Skillshare, learn it from like Ali Abdaal in about roughly 30 hours of practice. You could be really proficient with like Final Cut Pro or DaVinci in like 30 hours. If I was starting over as a YouTuber, one of the things I'd probably do is I would probably take 10 to 20 hours a week until I put in 30 to 50 hours just learning editing, not even publishing videos, just on learning editing software, so that now every time I make a video, I'm actually fast and I'm milking much more out of the hours I spend editing a video that I went through the trouble to film, because editing is the thing that slows you down. But if you front load mastering editing before you're publishing content, you'll be better. And that also means your videos are more likely to be shared. They'll be of a higher quality, a higher caliber. Then when you combine, okay, I've done all that editing, and then when you know what you're doing, you could then leverage the YouTube algorithm a lot better, because now that you have the ability to retain people, because part of what retains people, and notice that it is high average view duration that is like kind of the outlier here, by the way. High average view duration is clearly the outlier here, because I'm showing you something. Of the last 28 days, let alone last 90, but the last 28 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of my 10 best performing videos of the last 28 days are all replays of live streams, all replays of live streams. And all of that traffic is pure YouTube algorithm suggested traffic. Now, that's for the live streaming component. If I was doing YouTube Shorts, my big advantage with YouTube Shorts, if I wanted to really go there, I'm telling you, I would make content that is shareable, that everyone wants to share in text and DMs with other people, is where I would be focusing my stuff. So I would kind of go more to like random weird fact of the day, something that really is shareable. I think that the word of mouth component is still there. And I think that one of the best things would be excuse me, getting people to advocate for you and to rep you and to bring and recruit for you. And that's why I think really would help you with shorts. Algorithmically with shorts, my shorts have not performed well, but I also haven't done a lot of them. But I am getting views on these shorts, again, aka for no reason. But I don't think the shorts I made, even though I made good YouTube shorts, I don't think the way I've been making my YouTube shorts makes them what people would want from YouTube shorts. The people who watched them were fine with them and they did very well on likes and comments. But what's surfaced with YouTube shorts, and let's go ahead and look at all of 2023 for the YouTube Shorts views, and we'll look at the data around the YouTube Shorts views. So actually, let's look at the last 90 days, because what I've seen is the last 90 days, I haven't seen anything really change on these 365 days. This was just me uploading the 3 shorts to begin with as the beginning of my shorts experiments. I might run an experiment in April for YouTube Shorts because I have a new format for them that I'm trying. I'm trying a new format with YouTube Shorts that I think will work based on what I've seen work for people like me. I like what I've seen from Dan Coe. Dan Coe is amazing. I'm not going to steal his YouTube Shorts strategy exactly, but his strategy is like, oh, so that's what works for my personality, right? So I looked at our personalities are similar enough to where I said, okay, that's what works for my personality. Okay, cool, I'll do that. Like here, again, with YouTube Live, I see the algorithm change. I see the algorithm change that happens with YouTube Live right around the end of December, the beginning of January. It's not even close. And it's purely suggested videos, so it's algorithm. And if it's not, I don't even know that. I don't even believe it's a cultural shift. So, and other people have been reporting the same, by the way. So it's not even isolated on my channel. It's a thing that's been happening. So like, again, all these views on even old inventory, that was telling to me. So what I found was looking at it, I didn't trace an anomaly like that in regular video uploads. I saw no anomalies over the last 365 days. I don't have a lot of shorts to speak to anomalies there. There are changes in YouTube Shorts. However, I think that YouTube Shorts is starting to stabilize, especially now that ad revenue is introduced. What I'm more interested in with YouTube Shorts is the monetization piece. And we're tracking that. And thank you to everybody who's been sending me the CPM and RPMs for your YouTube Shorts monetization, because we've been collecting good data on that. If you want to send me those screenshots, DM me over in Twitter or even post it publicly to my threads in Twitter. But we're doing a good job of tracking how much money Shorts creators are making. And it's been enlightening how much, or how little rather, Shorts creators are making. So that's been good. Jack Decker, thank you for the $10 super chat. How about using a teleprompter for seeing video feed and an earbud to hear the audio so I can monitor both while filming a game show while I'm hosting it? If so, no need for hiring a cameraman. So Jack, the interesting thing that could be done there is you could do it like You could do it with the earpiece like actual game show host and television show host. And in terms of the teleprompter, they do that too. So I don't have a problem with you doing that. That's actually a really good production hack. That's a really good production hack. So I would be fine with that. GlideCam makes really good teleprompter setups, if I'm not mistaken. So does Parrot. So maybe look into those. But I think the extremes of long form, that's extreme long form and extreme short form, are what's working the best on YouTube. Am I telling you not to make regular videos? Oh, not at all. That's really still like the bread and butter of YouTube is regular videos. But I feel that we're getting to a more balanced version of YouTube to where live streams are just as valid, but they're going to work differently. They're going to work on suggested more than homepage. And that's clearly what the data indicates. YouTube videos are more for the YouTube homepage. I will tell you what I'll tell you what I think about YouTube Shorts. I'll tell you what I think about YouTube Shorts. If you don't make YouTube Shorts content, which I don't make a lot of right now, but I actually have a massive YouTube Shorts dump that I'm doing in April. In April, I might post a YouTube short on this channel literally every single day in April. I swear that that's what I'm planning. We'll see if I pull it off. But I'm planning like a 30-second YouTube Shorts video. And they're all going to be faceless YouTube Shorts. My new plan for YouTube Shorts, I'm going to do a couple other personal YouTube Shorts between now and April. But my April plan, if I can pull it off, is video every day in April. So I'll do video every day in April. And my plan is I'm going to do 30 faceless YouTube Shorts. And that's my plan. And I'll tell you why I'm doing 30 faceless YouTube Shorts. It's because they will be evergreen shorts. They will focus on productivity and motivation more than anything. They'll focus on productivity and motivation. Why? Productivity and motivation out of all the things I talk about, and the productivity, motivation, and money. It'll be productivity, motivation, and money. And why those three things? Because out of everything, motivation, productivity, and money are three universal constants that anybody could care about. And there's a chance that somebody has watched a video in the last 24 hours, because this is the other hack. This is the other algorithmic hack. All right, you want to succeed on YouTube? I'll tell you something. Pick a target audience. Stay in a lane, one audience, one channel, one voice. Now, think about that viewer really intensely, really care about who that viewer is, know what they eat for breakfast, know what their income level is, know what their lifestyle is, know everything you can about that viewer. Have a viewer avatar, make content for this individual or this type of individual. And I'll tell you something. Think about what they watched in the last 24 to 48 hours, and YouTube will give them more of what they've watched in the last 24 to 48 hours. And if you can anticipate them, if you can live inside these people's heads and you can anticipate what they've watched in the last 24 to 48 hours, and then you're making that, YouTube will surface it to them and you will have access to that audience. And if you don't, and you're not making what people want to watch, you can't be surprised that you're not getting viewership. Because what they want to watch, as proven by YouTube, is what are they already watching? And now how is what you watch add value to what they've already watched? How is it different but the same? Different but same. Meaning that what we like is we simultaneously, humans are weird. We like what we like, but we want variety to exist in that thing that we like. And you can think of this psychologically, even from dating profiles. You can think about, you want variety in terms of you like something different here or there, but you still have a type. You still have a type. So you want variety within what you like. You want variety, but within what you already like. Think about that. That's how it is. You might, so we like that. We also click on things that challenge us. So challenge us in some way and challenge what we already know and are familiar with. Introduce some element of novelty to what you do that makes it hard to duplicate what you do. And then represent variety, but variety within what a certain type of viewer already wants, what they have demand for. So answer demand, but what you must supply is novelty, variety, and differentiate yourself by challenging the viewer in some way. And that's what you're really going to, that's how you're going to win. But I'll also tell you another thing. And this is why I bring up the YouTube Shorts thing. Because I don't have more videos in YouTube Shorts in 2023, I'm invisible to a YouTube Shorts audience. In 2023, I have 3 videos. I have 3 videos that, and I've gotten 2,000 views for no reason on those 3 videos that I made a long time ago. And I got 7 subscribers out of that in 2023. Great. Here's the thing, though. I only have 3 YouTube Shorts. Now imagine if I had 300 YouTube Shorts. So yes, it's 100. So you can multiply all these numbers by 100. Now those numbers don't seem impressive, but if I multiply all those by 100 and I was getting that every month from that inventory of evergreen videos, then that is impressive. Because the thing is, there are, by not having like 100 to 300 YouTube Shorts that are in my library that could get YouTube Shorts viewership, I am missing 200,000 views a month I could have by having, I could have another 200,000 views a month. I don't have them because I don't have 100 YouTube Shorts. If I had 100 YouTube Shorts that I've made in the last year, then I'd have 200,000 views a month going forward this year that I could get from those YouTube Shorts. I cannot get those views because I do not have the inventory, because I'm invisible to a YouTube Shorts audience. Because the YouTube Shorts feed only feeds YouTube Shorts. I have nothing to offer the YouTube Shorts feed because I only have 3 videos. So that's a strategic thing that I'm going to change. Now that we have YouTube Shorts ad revenue, I can justify it. But so if you don't make YouTube Shorts, you are invisible to a YouTube Shorts audience. You have no access to a YouTube Shorts audience. And that is why we should make YouTube Shorts, is if we want to be visible to that audience. And if you don't think that audience matters, I will tell you something you probably don't know. YouTube Shorts gets 50 billion views a day. YouTube Shorts gets 50 billion views a day. Do you know what 50 billion views means? 50 billion views means that if you got 0.001% of the YouTube Shorts audience, you'd get 500,000 views a day. If you got 0.001, that's 3 decimal points after 0. Okay? So it's not 0.1%. It's not 100%. It's 1,000%. If you got 1,000% of the 50 billion YouTube Shorts views a day that are available, you'd still get 500,000 views a day. So when you can be to the magnitude of 1,000%, and that's the outcome potential, it's worth at least trying it. It's worth making 100 YouTube Shorts to get something out of it from that perspective. And then I would say, again, that's potential. That's not a guarantee. It's potential, mind you. So again, that's just how to have a realistic but optimistic outlook on it. Now, again, those views ain't worth that much money. They ain't worth jacking money. I'll tell you that right now. that 0.001, that 0.001 might as well be worth the amount of money you get paid for each of those views at this point. But but I digress. The point being that there's an opportunity for reach. An opportunity for reach is an opportunity for growth. James has a interesting question here. Sorry, not James, K Jams. So K Jams asks, as a commentary channel, what makes video essays like CoffeeZilla, D'Angelo Wallace, for example, so what makes them work? And what could I even make live streams on? So K Jams, there's a lot of commentary and essay style videos that do well, and they're not the only ones. Osmond Gold is doing a live stream reaction format as well. And so his live stream reaction format videos average 45 minutes to 2 hours of social commentary, usually on things in the internet, things in the news that are relative to internet people, arguably people who are terminally online, and it works. And it's very interesting. You see same things with LawTube. So the thing is, I'll give you a primary example. If you're a commentary channel that makes video essays, you could get into the reaction meta and you could react to CoffeeZilla videos. And that would actually do very well. People get like hundreds of thousands of views doing that. You could react right now to something that a lot of the creator community cares about. Right now, Mr. Beast, there's this like scathing article. I forget which outlet wrote something about this, but calling his video where he cured 1,000 people of blindness through helping them get a cataract surgery, which I take this personally because my own mother had a cataract surgery, and she was basically blind in one eye, legally blind in one eye. And I spent somewhere in the neighborhood of $12,000 to have her undergo a surgery to restore her vision. Now, I could do that because I'm a full-time content creator. I've been successful. My coaching business is successful. I do very well in terms of income, as you guys already know. But having the access to be able to say, okay, I can put that on a card. I can do that for her. Like the amount of money I had to make to be able to make like a $12,000 plus surgery, something I could afford to do to change the life of somebody. And I've also retired my mother. I help, take care of her. She doesn't have to work. And that's what being a good son looks like. If you manage to get successful there, like there's no reason that your parents should work past their prime. If you can do that for them, if they want to, it's a good option if they want to, but your parents shouldn't have to work past their prime in their golden years if you can do that. But like people, like they wrote a hit piece on Mr. Beast calling him ableist. They wrote a scathing hit piece saying that because he did this, it's performative. That like people like me are rightfully mad because it's like, again, someone like my mother would have loved to be able to have this surgery for free. And it's not ableist. And oh, she shouldn't just live with this disability and make it her identity and make it her whole personality. That's ridiculous. And that's the ridiculous culture we live in, right? So they used Mr. Beast to hold up this thing on their personal grievances. And this writer actually apparently has several disabilities, but reacting to this has gotten people hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views of reacting to the article, not just reacting to Mr. Beast video, curing 1,000 people of blindness through this wonderful surgery that can be done to completely restore someone's vision, but or even give them their vision for the first time in some cases. But reacting to things like that, just reacting to this article, having an opinion, going in on this, there's people who've got hundreds of thousands of views just this week from doing that. And so if you were doing, you could go over it piece by piece, break it down, debunk, do arguments, things like that. That's a really good example of what you could do on live stream and what people would care about. Because a couple of things, people have heard of Mr. Beast. 2, healthcare and surgeries and these things and access to free healthcare, one of the biggest debated things in the world and in the Western world, in society, definitely in America right now. Already massive headlines, and people want confirmation bias. They want someone to validate their opinion or they want someone to argue with. You'll get both sides of it. As long as you can handle that, it's good content, right? So that would be an example of something you're like, well, what could I live stream about or what could I make a very long video about? You could easily react to things like that in the news that are polarizing. And that has been proven to work time and time again. And it's still good content, and it's not fluff content because there's personal stories that can be interjected. Like, again, even I have a personal story about here is someone in my life that like suffered from this debilitating thing, and here's how much money it cost. And like, oh my God, that's so much money. Look at the position I have to be in to be able to afford something like that. So these people were able to get this for free because Mr. Beast. And then there's criticism for his generosity because, oh, why doesn't he just write the check? Why does he have to make content about? Well, because it funds him helping more people. That's why. And then also what's wrong? Like a good deed isn't canceled out because you prosper by doing it or that you get some acknowledgement for doing it. That doesn't cancel out the life-changing aspects of the good deed. So that's an example of commentary that someone could do that, okay, people would care about, people would be emotionally invested in. And that's really the trick to all of this, right? You have to be able to understand human psychology and behavior as a content creator to say, what will people care about? What will someone give a damn about? Like a lot of people, the reason that a lot of people do not succeed on YouTube, and I'll be blunt about this. You know why people don't succeed on YouTube? They make completely self-serving content that's only about themselves or that they only care about, that has zero emotional investment for somebody who has to spend time with them. Does anyone here remember what it's like or know what it's like to be around somebody where they never care about your hobbies, your interest, or whatever. And you have to always care about what they want to do or what they want to watch. And it's never like split down the middle or anything like that. Well, content creation ends up being very similar in the fact that a lot of content creators struggle because they want to be validated for their interest, their hobbies, the thing that they care about. And it's never about putting the audience first. It's about amusing themselves first and the audience second. Creators who put the audience first in the relationship prosper, and creators who fail to do that struggle. And that's the harshest truth about YouTube, is it's not about what you want to make as much as it's about what they want to watch. If what you want to make doesn't line up to what they want to watch, there's no relationship because it's a one-sided relationship from their perspective. What you will get if you serve them and make what they want to watch is you'll be rewarded with the status of subscribers, the validation of views, and the reward of ad revenue. And that's the reciprocal part for you. But you'd have to put the audience's position first, the emotional investment they have to make, because they're giving up their time. They're giving up their time. So it would be that. So I would say you have to figure out that aspect of it, K-Jams, and understand that those creators who are winning like that, it's because they understand human behavior and psychology, and they understand what people are already emotionally invested in. We got my boy Tom Nash. Thank you, Tom. Says, showing me some love here on V-Day. So thank you, Tom. And Tom's a great example. Tom figured out what people are emotionally invested in and financially invested in, and gives his take on existing narratives and things in the news and in the media. And it's powerful and it's compelling and it's good content. It's entertaining. It's entertaining content. Alyssa Valkyria. I love that name, and that's a great profile pic for a YouTube channel. If anybody's paying attention, that's actually really strong as far as a really solid profile pic that takes up the space and is facing in a really good direction for a comment there. So Alyssa Valkyria, thank you for the $9.99 super chat, by the way. Can't be possible that with so many YouTube shorts, people will be left with little time to watch long form content. Seems like YouTube is showing more shorts than long form content now. So that's about, but see, here's the thing. But shorts don't monopolize as much of a viewing session as long form on average. And we know that, and we've seen data around that. And they reach a much casual audience. They also reach a much younger audience. It has not slowed long form creators down because we still see long form creators getting a ton of views and a lot of money and a lot of super chats. Remember, most super chatted people right now by revenue, and I'll show this on screen here. Most super chatted people, and let me make this bigger. So like most super chatted people, Tim Cast IRL, that's I think that's Tim Pool. I don't know who the enforcer is. Sam and Nick's perfect. I don't know what that is. Emily D. Baker, law YouTuber. Emily D. Baker does like 3 and 4 hour live streams. Like Emily D. Baker, 3 and 4 hour live streams. Okay. Averaging over 10K a week, getting 2,000 people to donate, has massive streams, getting like 250,000 views a stream. So to say that, there's very little people left for long form, not at all. That's not the case. And remember, CoffeeZilla does long form content. He's getting millions upon millions of views. Oompaville does long form content. He's getting millions of views. H3 Podcast. What's the opposite of them? H3 Podcast does long form. Fresh and Fit does long form. Ricada Law does long form. Emily D. Baker does long form. Patrick Bet David does long form. All these things, right? And I'm like, I can go down the list. The lead attorney, I Show Speed, Harry Mack, like these people are killing it. Okay, The Chosen's doing it. Like they're so there's clearly an audience for it. There's clearly money in it. Dr. Disrespect, the OG, the Angry Man, like all these people look at and they're making money. and they're getting hundreds, if not thousands, of people to donate to them. Okay. So clearly there is an audience for long form and not just YouTube shorts. And again, I think the YouTube shorts thing is there's legitimacy to it. There's hype, there's marketing. There's a lot of those things. But what I think you have to also keep in mind simultaneously is that it's a young audience and that there is a audience for everything. That's why live streams, again, if we look at this 90-day overview, look at the live stream replays, and then boom, look at this. And again, look at this. It's the middle of the afternoon. We have almost 250 people watching live right now, and it's the middle of the afternoon. So there is an audience for live. It's not just shorts and the random scrolling. The abundance of shorts is powerful, but it's also dilution in terms of individual channel potential there to some extent. And there are some niches that shorts perform in, and there's some niches that live performs in. And remember, live and hyper extreme long form can get cut down to shorts. It can get cut down, and it often is. It often is. A podcast can give you 100 YouTube shorts. A live debate gives you 100 YouTube shorts. These things don't have to work against each other. They don't have to be adversaries at all. They don't have to work against each other at all. They work together. And that's kind of the direction of YouTube now. YouTube is about multi-platform now. And I think that's what's really compelling. Six Bows is back. So are you suggesting I should have like 300 shorts ready to go at all times? Not at all. I'm just saying that a library of content, you know me, I'm the 100 guy. I believe in the power of 100. It's even with my workouts right now. Now that I'm working out again, I figured out that if I'm going to work out a machine, like I did the chest press yesterday. So what I do, I go for reps. So what I did was I did 100 reps. I did a couple of sets of 25. I did a couple sets of 25 because that's what failure rate looks like for me. So I did 100 reps, 25 sets a piece, 4 sets. I did 4 sets of 25. I did 100 reps of the chest press machine. I use the psychology of numbers. So I think of 10,000, 1,000, 110, right? I use these multipliers. I use multipliers. So I did 10,000 steps. I did 10,000 steps, and I did 100 reps, and I did 1,000 seconds of meditation. I did 1,000 seconds of meditation. 1,000 seconds of meditation is about 16 minutes of meditation. So psychology of numbers. It works for YouTube, and it works for content creation in terms of psychology of numbers. 100 crappy videos. Great. Then find the top 10% of performers, or even the top 10 videos that performed. Great. Now make 100 videos in line with your 10 best performers, your top 10%. Boom. Now you're better. Spend 100 hours mastering your video editing software. Boom. You're a more proficient, more effective, more powerful editor. Okay. Make 1,000 videos over your YouTube career. See where it gets you. You definitely get somewhere between 100,000 to 1 million subscribers with 1,000 videos. Boom. It's like whatever you get from 1,000 videos, okay, your results will be better post video 1,000 for every 100 videos you make after that. You will get more out of them in most cases than the previous got you. I'll give you a primary example. My first 800 videos is what it took. It took 800 plus videos for me to get 100,000 subscribers. It took 800. So then by the time I made 1,000 videos, it took me 1,000 videos to get to about 250,000 subscribers. After that, the next 100 videos I made is what got me another 100,000, 100,000, 100,000 for every 100 videos I made. And when did my YouTube momentum stop? It stopped during the pandemic, because during the pandemic, I wasn't making 100 videos a year anymore. If I'd made 100 videos a year during the pandemic, I'd be at 1 million subscribers right now. So there's power in having enough work and a body of work and inventory. And so what would make me successful at YouTube Shorts? I will be successful in YouTube Shorts when I make my first 100 YouTube Shorts. I will know definitively what works for my personality and my audience and my avatar and my person. that I'm making content for, I will know what to do when I make 100 YouTube shorts. And then that will inform the next 100 YouTube shorts. And so I made my first 100 crappy YouTube shorts. I figured myself out. Some of them were good, some of them were bad. Okay, once I do that, then I make 100 decent YouTube shorts. Now I know I have some outliers in there. Okay, great. Then by the time I make a 300 YouTube shorts, I know how to make YouTube shorts effective at that point. And that's usually, in my experience, what works is you make 100 bad things to learn, 100 decent things to learn to be decent, and then you're capable of making 100 good things. And now every 100 things that you do going forward is you're from good to great to excellent to outstanding to outlier. And so I believe that it's 0 to 1,000 in terms of a body of work. I believe that a body of work is you thinking about going from 0 to 1,000 to now be proficient and to have mastery of your domain. And I see that in data because I've made 1,500 videos on this channel. So I've lived it. I've already lived it. And here's the thing. It's the better part of the top 1/3 of all of that that has given me the most results and the most value. But I would have never learned how to get that best 1/3 without the other 75% or the other 66% per se. So I hope that makes sense to people when I say it, is that there is a foundation, and like the first 10th of what you do is purely just learning not to suck. That's the first 10th of what you do in your life and in your career, is just learning not to suck. And then when you do something, the next third is like, you know, the next total third, meaning like your 20-30% of your effort is like, now I'm like someone who's competent and like doesn't make a ton of really messed up, irresponsible mistakes doing this thing. And I know what I'm talking about and I know what I'm doing. Then from there, that's the foundation of, okay, then you have to live in being competent for a good minute. For like a third of your career, you're now living in your competency and getting better and better and better. And it's kind of your journeyman experience after being an apprentice. And then, like, if you're very fortunate, the last third of your career is you being on the road to mastery of that by the end of your career. And that's how I kind of tend to look at these things. And so it's like, so you go through an apprenticeship, you become a journeyman in competence, and then you attain mastery if you work for mastery. Otherwise, you're just living in your competency, which is fine too, by the way. So that's how I think of it. And YouTube has proven that out for me long term. So let's see here. We have another super chat. Thank you for the $5 from Murphs. And Murph says, do you have any data on short form views leading to long form views over time? Is there a stat we could look at for an indication of this? So I'll be honest with you, algorithmically, and I can show you a channel that it's not that it's doing that, because I will tell you what it is. And I'm going to bring up a channel that I did an interview for. Members, you already watched this at the beginning of the year, the interview, but the everyone else, the interview probably comes out later this month. It's with Max the Meat Guy, who's been growing his channel. And in the last like 2.5 years, he's grown, and he's at 4 million subscribers now. When I interviewed him, he was well over 3 million, but he's like at 4 million now. But if I bring up his channel, if I bring up Max the Meat Guy, so with Max the Meat Guy, his regular videos, before we go to his shorts, because his shorts are the real success story, his regular videos are doing good, but I don't feel it's because of his YouTube shorts. And in the analytics, it's not necessarily that it's leading to long form views. Because this is like the mistake people are making is, okay, if I make shorts, then my long form videos will perform better. That's not actually what's happening, because you have to take into account what you have to look for. So you have to look for traffic sources. When you want to say, why is a video performing? You need to look for traffic sources. Then you need to look for a performance metric for what you're looking at. I'll give you a primary example. So when we looked at live streams and we said, okay, live streams, this is working. And why is this working? And where is it working? We figured out suggested videos. So we have a traffic source to say, okay, that's where that's like happening. With my regular YouTube videos, what's the traffic source that we optimize around? It's typically the homepage and YouTube search. So we go, okay, that's the traffic source that is winning for regular YouTube videos is the homepage and YouTube search. And then with shorts, it's typically going to be some combination because of YouTube's current algorithm. It's going to be the homepage and it's going to be the shorts feed. And in theory, it'd be suggested videos. Your mileage may vary here because shorts is still relatively new. And again, once I get the data from the April experiment, we'll look at that more. I have some clients, but I can't show you the clients stuff on the back end. But we'll have more data on that. But what you have to do is you have to go into a video format. You have to identify a traffic source for the performance of the video format. Then you have to look at the way the audience engages with that content. And you have to find for that content like in the case of live streams, you have to find a performance indicator. And in the case of live streams, we click on an individual video. What we determined is the performance indicator, the weighted performance indicator for this. We figured out that it's average view duration and overall retention and overall watch time. We figured out that it's mostly average view duration was consistent. And we determined this by looking at multiple pieces of content that were performing. So we looked at multiple outlier pieces of content and we went where the data indicated. So what I'm trying to teach you guys with this YouTube deep dive and analytics is I'm trying to teach you how to read data and then how to act on data and make data-driven decisions and how to read your YouTube analytics. And so when we looked at it, we realized these things and we realized that this is also performing with people who are not subscribed to us, which is the key indicator of, again, another indicator of algorithmic performance is it working with people who are not subscribed to you and the ability to capitalize on new viewership. And this was the other thing. When I realized, okay, the algorithm's changing. Why? Because I saw a pattern of new viewership, people who discovered my channel for the first time by watching this video. That's what you're looking for. So when you see that as an indicator of performance, when you see that performance indicator, that is what you're looking for. That's the trigger to say, okay, focus on this, right? So this is what you need to be looking for. This is what you need to be looking for. And when you can figure that out in your content, and also you have to find that per format, meaning out of the formats of video, shorts, and live streams is where you want to identify these patterns. And when you can do that, that's the stat you're looking for. And so, but since we want to talk about shorts and we want to talk about shorts impacting lives, a lot of you are looking to accomplish the wrong thing. I know that we talk about, well, okay, if my shorts aren't growing my long form content, my regular content, what's the point? The point is if you don't make shorts, you're invisible to a shorts audience. I'm invisible to a shorts audience. I'm getting less views that I could be getting. And those are people who could then be recommended my other videos and have the optionality to click on that because now that they've discovered who I am, they could look at other things I do. But finding the correlation between our shorts responsible for these lives, not lives, but these long form videos, are shorts helping longs. Again, psychologically, you're looking for the wrong thing. What you need to understand is that it's a reach. It's about building a reach and it's about a relationship. If they find you with shorts, if you've done the job in terms of your personality, then that's what you should be counting on to say that they will watch other content from you. But you also have to account for, are they a long form viewer Is there something that they would watch long form? Is there something they would care about? Am I consistent there? Or do enough of them? Is it a percentage of them that care enough about me to watch my long form content? Now with Max, because his videos are, again, it's not even close though. Yes, he's getting 100, 200,000 views or more on long form, but his shorts get millions casually. You see the difference? There is a 10x difference. There's a 10x difference in the views that Max gets between short and long form. It's a 10x difference. So this is so much let me rephrase that. There's a minimum 10x difference. It's a 10x to 20x difference. So the thing is, from my perspective, your best case scenario, and Max makes exceptional content. That's the other problem. He's top tier and his stuff is mad consistent in terms of quality and the function of his videos and who his videos are for. So when there is anything from a 10x to 100x difference of shorts potential versus long form potential, you might need to look at it. Now, here's another thing. Sometimes my long form live streams can outperform my regular YouTube videos by 5 to 10x. So it depends. And this will be different for different niches. They'll be different for different creators based on how they package their content. So while I understand all of you are looking for hard and fast rules, you're looking for hard and fast rules when a lot of this is very specific to the way in which you do YouTube and your approach. The benefit that you can get from shorts is this. If you don't make them, you're invisible to shorts viewers and you have no access to the 50 billion views a day on shorts content. So if that matters to you, then make YouTube shorts. If you're like, I really want them to watch my long form videos, it's not really what it's from my perspective. From my perspective, divorce shorts helping long form from your mind entirely. Divorce live streams helping your regular videos entirely. Make live streams for people who like engagement and want to interact with you, and make live streams that have replay value to a group of people that are worth watching later and that can get very good average view duration. Make live streams about live streaming. Don't make live streams about desperately trying to port to your YouTube portfolio of video content, because that's what your regular YouTube videos, that's your portfolio of the content you want to be known for. Live stream viewership is for deeply invested people. Okay? And shorts are for casuals that are scrolling randomly and you have the opportunity to reach them. They are different psychologies of viewership. They're different people. There will be overlap between those different people, and it might be as much as 10% overlap. Separate it in your mind. I say there are advantages and things you can benefit from all of them. The most profitable opportunity, and it's not even close, is live streaming. And I showed you why. Live streaming is the most profitable opportunity. It's the most monetizable opportunity in YouTube. I swear to God, nothing comes close. Shorts has the worst monetization in YouTube, and it's not even close. So on the extreme edges, monetization is best with live and long form, and shorts is the most reach opportunity for the least money. Shorts is the most reach for the least revenue. And I would say extreme long form has a very intimidating timestamp in terms of a commitment to click, but it can be powerful in the long term. And I'd say it's the best monetization opportunity long term is extreme long form content like commentary, documentaries, stuff like James Johnny, stuff like Magnates Media, stuff like D'Angelo Wallace, stuff like Asmund Gold, stuff like Copyzilla. And it's massively monetizable. More ad revenue, super chats, super thanks, affiliate links, any number of ways. Like you could literally, there's like 7 ways you could like take advantage of that and monetize that. Podcasting on YouTube, video podcast, live stream podcast. live stream reaction commentary, live stream news reactions, debate panels, like heavily profitable. The middle of the road, the most versatile, the jack of all trades thing is a regular YouTube video. Regular YouTube video is the jack of all trades. These two extremes represent the extremes of reach and the extremes of revenue. And extreme long form has the most revenue potential, and extreme short form has the most reach. There's always a trade-off. The middle ground, versatile, well-rounded jack of all trades is a regular YouTube video. Thanks so much. Another super chat from our friend Jack Decker. So Jack says, would showing an edited down version of the first game of a game episode, 3 to 5 games per episode, be good fodder for shorts, a tease to click on the top pinned comment to today's episode? No, I wouldn't say so. What I would say is showing the most exciting or interesting aspect of a game. If you were going to do gaming shorts, maybe it's the most interesting aspect or the most interesting authentic reaction to the gameplay. And I'd say that'd probably have to be hyper edited, because what it should probably be is the top of the video, the top half of the video should probably be maybe either you or the game, and then the bottom half is either the game or you. And so then there's this interesting visual of, you know, you doing the thing, and so your emotional reaction or response, and then the actual gameplay. And I think that'd be the most interesting thing for somebody scrolling. So again, you have to also edit shorts to some extent. If you're not producing things with shorts in mind to begin with, you have to edit with shorts in mind. And the way that's going to usually work is you have to create visually interesting formats for shorts, and the psychology of that's very different. That's why some people make exclusive shorts content, or they film and produce everything with the shorts in mind to begin with as a strategy. And then if you're working with an editor, your editor needs to learn shorts etiquette and shorts best practices. And shorts has not been around that long. Shorts is only a 2020 thing. It's been 2020, and we're now in the beginning of 2023. So it hasn't had that long. So the best practices, we've had YouTube Live, we've had regular YouTube videos, we've had that for like over a decade, almost 2 decades in many cases. So the thing is, we have established best practices that have evolved. We have standards, we have formats, we know what we're doing for that. We have high-end versions of that. Shorts is moving fast and people are adapting fast, but the shorts best practices are still being written in real time, and shorts only stabilized in the last 9 months, as far as I'm concerned. And ad revenue started this month. So the best practices and field guide to YouTube Shorts is still being written in real time. We will know the best practices for YouTube Shorts 2 to 3 years from now. We'll know it in 2025. We'll know it for sure in 2025. Because one, most of the YouTube Shorts features will be finished developed, because there's features that aren't done with YouTube. YouTube Shorts is not done. YouTube Shorts is a product that's maybe 60% developed in terms of its long-term stable roadmap of what it's going to be. YouTube Shorts won't be done, like stable, like, and we know what it is and what it's supposed to be, and everything's kind of worked out. We'll know that in 2025. Like the development roadmap, those of you who've done live streaming already know how long it took for YouTube Live to stabilize. YouTube live stream didn't stabilize until right before the pandemic, really. So now we need another 2 years at least to get there. And what I would say is, like I said, if you're a gaming channel, it's the visual format and it's the most interesting to happen in the game is what's going to be valuable from a shorts standpoint. Got Roger Wakefield in the house. What's up, my friend? I hope I see you at Social Media Marketing World. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be speaking this year about video strategy. Geekdom 101 in the house. Sent me a text, but I see you're live, so you're also watching. Appreciate you, buddy. I'll text you back later. Text you back while I'm having I skipped lunch today, so it'll be dinner. I'll text you during dinner. About the wallet says, I like long form because I can still edit my content and learn something along the way. Facts. So Black Rose, this is speaking to the psychology of a shorts viewer. Yeah, well, while I like shorts, when I'm in a hurry or busy to watch, I still catch long form video to learn different things. So I think people really want to watch long form. They will find the time. Right. There are people who will watch long form, but there's also people who watch shorts. So Audio Epa says, you say that people don't want to waste their time if the creator doesn't put them first, but isn't a waste of time if you're not passionate about what you're creating? No, that's emotional. That's emotional. Nobody here was passionate, I don't think, about learning to read and write for the most part. They probably weren't passionate about that. That wasn't a waste of your time. You probably weren't passionate about learning arithmetic in school. It wasn't a waste of your time. You probably weren't passionate about K through 12. And you probably hated going to school. Wasn't a waste of your time. I doubt anyone's passionate about brushing their teeth and washing their face. Not a waste of time. Like, I need to make a video because, like, look, I'm all for doing things you're passionate about, but putting that in perspective. But I will tell you, and it's not just an age thing, and this is not about Audio Epa, this is in general. And this is what pisses me off about the world and about messaging. And this is also a problem I have with a lot of larger content creators as well, to some extent. And the message about, like, passion is bullshit. It's important. It's important. It is important. But I'm telling you it's BS, because here's the thing. 80% of what you need to do in life to survive in life and to have a good life and to be a responsible person and to be a decent person is not jack you're passionate about. It's not jack you're passionate about. So many people are actually wasting their time in life because they are obsessed and so narcissistic that they think that because they're passionate about something, that anybody's supposed to give a damn about it. Yeah, I said it. We have a problem in the creator sphere and ecosystem with people's narcissism to think that what they're passionate about is supposed to be important to other people and supposed to be validated and supposed to be profitable and supposed to give them a full-time living and is supposed to fulfill all the desires of your heart. Do you all think the most passionate thing I am about in the world is YouTube? Because it's not. The thing I'm probably most passionate about is photography. So why is my YouTube channel not a dedicated photography channel? It has had photography content and the content has succeeded, but it's not the thing that I'm most passionate about in the world. Here's the thing. I don't even want to make money off of photography as like the most passionate thing that I care about, and about traveling the world and taking photos, going on safari one day. Like that I do not want to monetize the thing that I'm most passionate about, because if I turn the thing I am my number one passion into a job, it's a way to not like it anymore, because there's anxiety, there's performance anxiety with having to monetize something. When you do something for money, there's performance anxiety. When you do something for money, you have to do what makes sense and what will keep you stable and what will pay your mortgage and pay your bills, pay for surgeries, pay for doctors, pay for healthcare insurance. Do things you like and monetize things you like and are passionate enough about. But it does not need to be your number one passion. Most of you, I'm going to say it, I'm going to be blunt about it. Most of the people who are trying to make it as YouTube gamers should not try to make it as YouTube gamers. They're not even going to like gaming 5 years from now because they're trying to make it as YouTube gamers. A lot of them should be doing the number 2 or number 3 they're passionate about, because they should take what they're passionate about, and then it should be their number 2 or number 3 thing, because they're not the best gamer in the world. They're not the best entertainer in the world, but they're also really smart at something that they're less passionate about, but still passionate about. There's a lot of gamers that are really passionate about anime, and they should be making anime essay content instead of trying to be a YouTube gamer and trying to be a Twitch gamer. And they could be a 100,000 subscriber channel talking about One Piece instead, or talking about Demon Slayer instead, or talking about Naruto instead. They could be a 100,000 subscribe Naruto channel, and instead they are insisting on being an 8,000 subscriber gaming channel, because they are 20% more passionate about gaming than they are about anime, but they are more knowledgeable and more expert and will be more respected in the anime community than the gaming community. And that's what's wasting their time. What is a waste of your time is when you decide you're passionate about something, but you're not also good at it, and it also doesn't make money, and there's also not an audience for it. It's called Ikigai. The Ikigai framework of being successful is that you find something you're passionate enough about. So what all of you should do is you should list the 5 things or 10 things you are most passionate about. Then you should go and Venn diagram that and ask yourself, out of a scale of 1 to 5, how good am I at anything that I'm passionate about? How good am I at anything I'm passionate about? Am I a 5 out of 5 out of that? I would say something you're passionate about, even if you're a 3 out of 5 passionate, but you're a 5 out of 5 skilled, you should do that instead of doing something that you're a 5 out of 5 passionate and a 3 out of 5 skilled. You shouldn't take something that you're passionate about but mediocre at doing and then try to be monetizing that and build your life and your lifestyle around that. What you should do is you should look at something that you're 3 out of 5 passionate about and 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 skilled at, or if you're 3 out of 5 skilled, but you know that if you actually put in the work, you could be 5 out of 5 skilled. That's what you should do. Then you should either be smart enough or find someone smart enough to help you figure out how to monetize it to 3 out of 5 potential. Then with hard work, it scales to 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. And you should also qualify how good you are at identifying how many people are passionate about that and the ability to put the audience first and to become a 5 out of 5 creator that replies to every comment, cares about the community, will make videos based on what people ask for, make videos based on what people respond to. Because when you're 5 out of 5 passionate about something, you'll put your ego above your skill, you'll put your ego above the audience, and you'll put your ego above money, because you will find every excuse when you're 5 out of 5 passionate. I would say that when you're able to monetize what you're 3 out of 5 passionate about, become 5 out of 5 skill at it, become 3, 4, or 5 out of 5 audience investment out of it, figure out the monetization piece, you will have enough money so that the thing you're 5 out of 5 passionate about, you'll never compromise and bend the knee to anybody. I don't have to ever make a photo or shoot a photo that anyone gives a damn about ever. I can make whatever photo I want. I can shoot whatever I want, and it doesn't matter how it turns out. I can do it. I can shoot a whole roll and not post it to social media, and I can hang it up, and people who enjoy me, people who come out to the house, people who love me, they'll see how great a photographer I am. I don't need the world to acknowledge how good of a photographer I am. I don't need the world to pay me for how good a photographer I am, because I can make whatever I want as a photographer, because I'm successful in all my other endeavors, and I can afford to go and say, you know what, even if it doesn't help the YouTube channel, I'm going to go and I'm going to buy a $3,000 lens that's purely so that when I go and I decide I want to photograph the apes, or I want to photograph, the pandas, or whatever I want to do, that's going to be the best lens that money can buy. And I don't have to justify it by making it work on YouTube, because I can afford it, because I went with what I was good at, what I could monetize, and what there's an audience for. And I'm passionate enough about it. I like it enough for it to not be a chore, not resent it, not hate it. And a lot of you, the problem is you want to be validated for your passion, even when you don't have the skill to justify being validated for it. And even when you're not serving anyone with it, and you want financial reward for something that you're not a 5 out of 5 or a 4 out of 5. Some of you are 2 out of 5 at it in terms of skill, because you're really emotionally invested. I think a better life is when you can do the thing you love most in the world and not have to worry about how well it pays you. Because now all your anxiety about making money, gone. All the judgment and validation of people liking it, gone. All the performance anxiety about whether you're truly good enough to justify spending time doing it, gone. Because you can afford it. And you've bought back your time, and you have the luxury of a hobby. And that's that's harsh. I know that's harsh. And I know that's not what people want to hear, because that's not the creator dream. The creator dream is do what I want and people love me. Do what I want and people pay me. Do what I want and I'm validated with views. And I'm realistic. I'm realistic. And I again, I'm the dream killer. I destroy people's delusions, because what I'm saying is you can do what you want when you freed yourself from the obligation and the performance anxiety and the need to monetize every ounce of it. So I would say find a group of people that you like enough and that you have enough in common with, and make content for them that's really good, and that you're good at making, and be rewarded on your skill, and be rewarded by those people on being good at it, and be rewarded for serving them, and monetize that properly. Be very smart about that, or hire someone like me to help you figure out how to monetize it better. And I think that when you say, okay, this is a niche where I can do well, this is a niche where I bring something to the table, this is a niche that pays well, and this is a niche where there's a need for new blood and there's a passionate audience for that. Like there's a saying, it's like the people who like you. See, a lot of people, they'll chase only to be rejected, when there were people who already said yes. Like the people who already like you. If you like the people who already like you, meaning if you go where there's a demand, you go where you're accepted, you go where you're validated, you go where the audience is, you serve them, you get that, like, you'll become more passionate about that thing. You will like that thing because you're rewarded for that thing. So sorry for the rant, everybody. That's me being passionate. Like, oh, what was Roberto passionate about? Or like, Roberto's passionate about ranting. So we got some super chats. So yeah, look into Ikigai and look in my video on Ikigai. I think it's really powerful for a lot of you. It's like, it's all right. Like, find all these things you're passionate about, rate how passionate you're about it 1 through 5. Like, like, am I 5 out of 5 passionate about this? Am I 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, whatever? Okay. Find out what you're skilled at and be honest and not delusional about your skill level. Figure out the audience demand. Figure out if there's millions of views in that or not. Figure out if there's millions. How big is the biggest creator doing that thing? How big could they be? Right? Figure out what the audience is. Figure out how well that thing monetizes. Now, build a career and framework around that gives you the best life and lifestyle possible doing that. And then the thing you're 5 out of 5 passionate about, you'll never have to do it for $1 and never have anyone tell you how to do it. And that's a really good life. So Urban Noise Music says, as someone who started a new YouTube channel recently, a few months ago, Roberto is absolutely right. And I'm enjoying the journey as I'm getting better. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Roberto, for that description of apprenticeship, journeyman, mastery. I feel like I'm at the mastery stage of my career. Good for you. Good for you. And I find that part is starting to teach others. Absolutely. There's a lot of value to that. And you become a master as you teach others. It's not about you teach others when you become a master. You become a master as you teach. A lot of people don't realize that. And that's how you really grow. Thank you, Free King, for being a channel member. More channels members only content coming. Economy, Science, and Tech says, Roberto, that's all good content. 4K walking videos in Paris to get to 1,000 subscribers. Is it a good strategy before doing the real content? I don't know, because I don't think it's the same audience, my friend. I think that, though, like, you have to have the same audience and some continuity of audience. And so I think that could get to being like a fake out of like, oh, here's the real content after, like, because then, okay. So I don't think that that's great for, I don't think that, oh, I'll just do this to speed run to 1,000 subscribers and get monetized, and then I'll make the real content. I don't think that's a good strategy, to be honest. I think that you have to really develop this idea of who am I making content for, in terms of who do I want to spend time with, who wants to spend time with me. I think you have to take a relationship, like with content creation, I think of this framework. Relationship, reach, reputation, revenue. Relationship, like, write this down, guys. Take notes. It's actually, hang on 1 second. I want to make this slightly brighter. There we go. All right. So yeah, 4-part framework. This is why I teach my Awesome Creator Academy students, the people who do coaching with me, right? It's a 4-part framework. It's reputation, reach, relationship, and revenue. 4-part framework, right? So your content creator journey really strongly rests on developing in these 4 areas. You have to be very smart and develop a revenue strategy because you have to feed yourself. You have to be responsible. You have to make money doing this. Okay, great. You have to build a relationship and a connection with an audience. You have to also know how to reach an audience and harness attention. And then you also have to build a good, solid reputation, not only in terms of your niche and with your peers, with brands, and you have to maintain a strong reputation and a good reputation with the audience. In addition to the relationship with them, they have to respect you. So, and you have to be respectable and you have to be respectful. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. So when you do all these things and you level up in all these areas, that's a really strong part of your overall creator experience, creator career, creator journey. And so you need to really think about it functionally, these things. The things that I teach is like a lot of people think, oh, do you teach growth? Do you teach growth hacks? Do you like, oh, how to get views, how to get subs? Like, yes, we teach all that. But there's a like actual career development aspect of being a content creator. That's the stuff that doesn't perform well on YouTube, by the way. I try with these live streams to give it to y'all a little bit for free. I sneak it in there besides our like analytics deep dives and showing the data and stuff like that. We teach the mindset part. But here's the thing. Like a lot of you have been conditioned to think that mindset is BS. You think that mindset is BS. You think that mindset doesn't matter. And I get it. And I get that there are scammers and con artists out there. And I get that they talk a lot about mindset, but it's like, but every athlete and every coach talks about mindset too. There's a reason for it. And mindset also is about your mental health. A lot of people don't you're going to be a content creator, but you're not going to prioritize your mindset and your mental health because you think that mindset's a scam. See, like it's about growing up. It's about growing up. And the problem is that the most popular content creators are mostly people under 25. And so they're smart, they're intelligent people. And I'm not dunking on any of these people, but what I'm telling a lot of you, and a lot of you are over 25, is that there's a mindset to having a career for 10 years. And I was working for 10 years before I became an entrepreneur and before I became like a full-time content creator, because I'm turning 39 this year. There's like a lot that goes into longevity and just looking back and reflecting and having perspective in life when you do these things. There's a lot of data to accumulate when you do something for 10 years too. And so then when you make yourself beholden to reflecting on all the data points in your life, and you then realize that here are some of the things that matter. And so you need the mindset, you need mental frameworks, you need to be able to look back and say, good Lord, if I only knew what I knew now 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. So anyone who's old enough knows that mindset's not BS if they're old enough and mature enough, because everyone knows that your mental health matters. Everyone understands reflectiveness matters. And everyone knows that if you had the frame of mind and perspective that you have at 35 and you had that at 25, you would have made better life choices. And it's not even close. That's the difference. But it's hard. It's hard when the creator community is primarily people who have never been 35 to have the perspective to look back on anything with like 2 decades of hindsight. There's no 2 seconds. There's no normalization of 20 years of hindsight when it comes to this industry, my friends. And but like in 10 years, it'll be different though. Because then in 10 years, everyone will sing a different tune, because you'll have people who have been creators for 10, 15, and 20 years that are big. And then when they say it, it'll matter. But when somebody who's mid-tier, someone with less than 1 million subs says it, it doesn't matter to anybody. But it'll happen more because when more of the people that are at 1 million and 10 million subs, when they age up, if they're still relevant after 30, their perspective when they hit their 30s, when they start having families of their own, when they start having long-term commitments and so on and so forth, the narrative of YouTube and the mental health of being a content creator, career longevity of being a content creator, taking a mature approach to things, being less emotional, less passion-driven, and more purpose-driven. It's not that passion doesn't matter. It's not that passion doesn't matter. It's that purpose matters, passion matters, and practicality matters. They all matter, and profit matters. Purpose, passion, practicality, and profit. 4 P's, right? They all matter. The center stage that they take in your life becomes different based on your season of life. So when you reach a different season of life, these things will matter in a different way. And that's something that we just do not teach enough about and talk enough about. So like I told you, a lot of you, that you can use mental models and frameworks if you're taught them by somebody that can help you really develop more as a content creator, because it's more than being a good video editor. It's more than being a good video editor. It's more than being a good performer on camera. It's more than being a good technician and knowing all the camera gear. It's more than that. It's about being able to have a reason behind doing something that you can do that's backed by a purpose that you have, practicality, weighing the profitability of your choices and measuring that so you can be a responsible adult. And yes, understanding what you're passionate about, but putting your passion in perspective. And sometimes your passion has to take a backseat to profit. And sometimes your passion is not as important as serving a purpose that fulfills other people. And sometimes your passion is not compatible with the practicality and logistics of getting the damn job done. And that's just some real talk right there. This, Nicole Michelle, thank you for the $10 super chat. Love you, Roberto. I wish the YouTube algorithm would favor those of us who go out on a limb and do regular lives. Lots of work, wishful thinking. So the algorithm is just the audience and then the creator's understanding of analytics. And so I want you to keep this in mind, because this is actually a good comment. I like this comment, but I'm going to put it in perspective for you. If you live a regular life and you work a 9 to 5, there's a way to win at YouTube. You should definitely watch my video on use this strategy to grow on YouTube in 2023. Real advice for new YouTubers. You should watch that one, Nicole. I published that one maybe a month ago. And the reason I bring that video up, aside from the fact it's doing very well, it has like 50K views. The reason I bring that video up is because I actually gave practical advice for people who live normal lives. The thing that hurts small YouTubers, and there's a framework that I have around this. There's a framework that I have around this that you should know. And I don't expect you to know it, like as in like, but I want you to know it. I want you to know it. And that framework's called time. It's called time, ironically enough, right? And so this framework that I teach called time stands for time freedom, investment capital, manpower, and efficiency. And so anyone that masters their time has the ability to go from being a small YouTuber to becoming a successful YouTuber. And so what do I mean by this? You have to create and leverage time freedom to make quality content and make content consistently. Now, when you work a 9 to 5 job, the least efficient use of your time is filming right after you got out of work and you've been drained of your energy for the last 10 hours of your day, and then you're going to make content with the scraps of your energy. That is a bad idea. It's not efficient use of your time, and it is not leveraging time freedom. The most time freedom you have is on your days off. You have the most energy. You have the most efficiency. You have the most human capital on your days off, not with the scraps of energy after work. Everyone already kind of knows that common sense wise, but it's like, but I have a family or I need to do this. It's like there's 24 hours on your days off. You can sleep 8 hours, get a good night's sleep, recover, sleep 9 hours. As for family time, there's people in your family, they are going to want to watch Netflix. They're going to watch TV. They're going to want to do things by themselves that don't involve you. There's also going to be time when they're still asleep or when they go to sleep. So the thing is, if you go to bed early enough on your day off, you can wake up on your day off 2 hours earlier than everyone else in your household if you have a family. And now you have 2 hours of silence to film things that require audio. Don't film B-roll. Don't edit. Film the main cut of your video that requires good audio and requires silence when the house is silent. So this is the hack for everyone who says, oh, YouTube advice never considers people who have a 9 to 5 job or a family. This moment is your moment. Now's your time. Now's your time. Because here's the truth. On your day off, go to bed earlier so that you can wake up an hour to 2 hours earlier and film in peace and quiet and silence. When it's time to edit, you can edit when it's noisy and chaos because you just get noise canceling headphones and then, I can edit anytime. You can edit at any time because editing doesn't require peace and quiet. It's a nice to have. Filming requires peace and quiet. So, okay, if you wake up early and there's absolute silence, now you have the ability to film footage. That's going to make it easier to, and then don't do this. Everybody stop doing this. Stop, film, edit, upload. Stop that workflow. Film when you can. When it's silent, You do nothing but film. When there's silence, when there's nobody at the house, when it's quiet, when you have energy, you do nothing but film content. You do nothing but produce the content during that time. There's no editing. There's no script development during that time. There's no Photoshop. You can do that when people are loud by putting on noise canceling headphones. When it is silent, you record because it's the only time you can do it. So you make the most of your time. This is why time, freedom, investment capital, manpower, and efficiency. This is the time framework. Okay. So that's the maximum use of your time freedom. Okay. And that's the maximum efficiency of filming. All right. So then in terms of investment capital, invest in anything that makes you faster and improves the quality of your videos. So investing in camera gear and stuff like that. Obviously, this is about quality, but it's also about speed sometimes. Sometimes it's about speed because then you'll spend less time editing because you won't have to fix things in post. You'll spend less time tweaking audio. You spend less time doing this. When it's noisy, that's the best time to go download all your B-roll from Storyblocks. It's the best time to do all your stop hunting for the perfect music and epidemic sound when you're editing your videos and taking forever and wasting 3 hours. Pick 25 songs, and that's your soundtrack for the next 3 to 6 months. Rotate through those 25 songs, download the 50 to 100 sounds for your sound effects, and download the 25 to 30 songs for your soundtrack for the next 3 to 6 months, and stop hunting for the perfect music. Now you have the perfect music all the time because you're just rotating through this soundtrack. And that's your soundtrack for the next 3 to 6 months. Now you're much more efficient with your editing workflow and your time. Get your story blocks, make folders, and when it's noisy, instead of waiting for it to be quiet, go source all your B-roll, make a folder for every emotion, and download like 20 clips for every emotion. Get your concepts like money, time, relaxation, sports, and like download your hundreds of pieces of footage. Now you have your B-roll library. Now the editing efficiency for the rest of your life is handled. I'm making a video about this, by the way, but also watch the videos I make about how to be consistent on YouTube, and watch all my videos that are about editing. I have a playlist on my homepage of my YouTube channel that's about editing and editing workflows and being a faster editor, and this will save you. This will save people like you, Nicole. This will save other people in the chat. So this will save you. So then, like investment, you invest in what makes you fast, whether that's a better laptop, whether that's a better filming rig, whether it's better audio so you don't have to do that, whether it's story blocks, whether it's epidemic sound. You invest in things that make your life better and make it faster to make content. You could invest like me in like a camera rig setup that like puts your stuff on wheels. I have a stand with wheels. This whole thing, stand with wheels, all my stuff so I can move it around and film, right? Efficiency. This live streaming setup is efficient. It's flip switches, turn things on, boom, I've got it. So it's efficiency, right? And that's what I invest in. Manpower. Once in a while, get someone to help you and get another pair of hands. It helps scale your content. It works for Ryan Trahan, Mr. Beast, Michelle Carre, all these people. Get an extra pair of hands. If there's something you suck at, use manpower. Invest in the manpower to outsource it. You suck at thumbnails? Okay, either outsource it to a human or outsource it to a robot. Get Midjourney, generate better thumbnails by using Midjourney to generate an image, then take that into Canva, add text, call it a day. Buy my YouTube channel starter kits, buy my channel starter kits, and buy my thumbnail templates. You suck at Photoshop? Great, buy my Photoshop templates. 90% of the work is done for you. Throw your photo with your facial expression in, make whatever facial expression or pose you want. I've done the design work. The fonts are there. Boom, free Google fonts. I've already done the text layout work. Change the colors, make it your own. 80% of the work has been done for you. Efficiency. Get 100, do a photo shoot, get a friend to help you. Manpower plus efficiency. Cool. Get a friend to help you, get them to take the camera, make a bunch of dumb faces for YouTube, make your YouTube faces, and get them to shoot for 20 minutes of facial expressions and poses so that you can always cut those out and use them in your YouTube thumbnails. Now you're efficient forever. Doesn't matter what your wardrobe is. Wear the same thing in the thumbnails. Doesn't matter if the thumbnail, your clothes in the thumbnail matches your clothes in the videos. Does not matter. Just make the thumbnail faces. Have someone take, and now you have a folder. Great. I have 100 photos to use for thumbnails. Now you can make any thumbnail you ever need to. make a bunch of facial expressions, body language, use the entire spectrum of all the human emotions and expressions, make some poses where you hold an object, a stand-in object, hold like a book or a small object or something, so you can Photoshop in another real object of similar size later for your stuff, so you can be creative. Boom. That's now, you use the manpower of someone taking photos for you, use the efficiency of batch making assets for thumbnails for the future. That's another process thing. So again, master time, become the master of time, and you'll be able to go from small YouTuber to successful YouTuber, because big YouTubers, they have mastery of time. They have more time freedom than all of you because they can work 40, 60, 80 hours a week on nothing but YouTube. You can't. So you have to be more efficient than them. They have the ability to invest in the best production gear in the world. You may not have that, but you need to invest in things that help you be fast, effective, and can improve your quality a little bit. So that means spend $100 to get a good microphone. Save up, and if you get $300, you can have one of the best microphones possible for YouTube. You can get $300 to $400, and you can literally cap and have, oh, that's what a creator with 100,000 to 1 million subscribers has, the same microphone. $300 to $500 buys you the same microphone as the biggest YouTuber. $300 to $500 of lighting buys you the same lighting as someone with 1 million subscribers. Buys you the same lighting as the biggest YouTuber. The cameras are where it gets pricey and expensive, but for $500 to $1,000, you can have camera quality. This camera, there's a replacement for this camera that is $500 right now. It's the Sony ZV-1F. $500 for this look. This is a good look, and this is a 500K channel that could be a 1 million subscribed channel, and no one could complain about the quality. And you could be on that 100K to 1 million subscribed quality for $500 of camera gear for the camera and lens built in. $500 for that. Okay, that's it. And then lighting, like I said, best YouTubers, biggest YouTubers, a lot of them, it's $300 to $500 for you to use, because some of them can use a one light setup. Or if you're streaming, it's less than that for these lights, because these are Elgato lights. These Elgato lights are I think $150 a piece, something like that. So less than $500 to have the same lighting, and that's streamers and big YouTubers, they use that lighting. If you want an aperture light, you spend $300. So like $300, $500, you can get on par with the biggest YouTubers in lighting alone, and in microphones, it's $300 to $500 for the best microphones. You can step down from those and spend $100, $200 and step down. But you see my point, right? So like those are investments to compete. Big YouTubers, they have unlimited budgets, so they buy more and more and more of all that, right? Manpower, just the manpower of having someone take the photos for YouTube thumbnails to help you with poses and to help you with thumbnail poses, that manpower instantly ups your YouTube game. Just like that. And you're only borrowing them for 20 minutes to do all those thumbnail poses. 20 minutes. And hand them your camera or hand them the phone. 20 minutes. Improves your thumbnail game instantly. Okay, so that's manpower. And then efficiency. Doing the prep work, like I said, efficiently saves you hours of video editing. And filming when you can and batch recording lets you be consistent. You can film a month's worth of YouTube content in a weekend if you film when it's quiet and if you wake up 1 to 2 hours earlier on your day off. And now you have the ability as a person with a normal job to make consistent content. Higher quality content is a $1,000 investment to make the content more quality. Okay. You maximize your time with a 9-to-5 job, and you maximize your efficiency with your workflow. And then you've utilized the manpower to get one of the most important aspects of YouTube, which is topic, title, thumbnail. You've improved your thumbnail game. Investing in something like templates, improve your thumbnail game. Boom. So like that's how a normal person with a regular job and regular life, that's how they win at YouTube. So that's your segment on that. Like that's how you win. That's how, as a normal person, because again, big YouTuber has 40 to 8 hours a week to spend on nothing but YouTube. And that's all they do. Big YouTuber, unlimited investment capital, can spend $10,000 to make one video. One video. They'll spend $100,000 a year to $1 million a year on content alone. Big YouTuber. You don't have that, so scale it down and do the best you can and invest more frugally and do what you can there. Manpower. Big YouTuber has 3 to 10 people working for them just on content. Just on content. You don't have that? Cool. Once in a while, have someone hold a camera for you. It's a start. Efficiency. Big YouTubers outsource and have all these crazy workflows, and they invested in the most efficient setups in the world. Your efficiency, find a corner of your house and have your lights and tripod already set up and your camera already mounted to it so that you don't waste 20 to 30 minutes getting set up and losing your energy and your motivation to make a video. That's another efficiency thing. YouTubers have dedicated rooms, dedicated setups, dedicated rigs that never come down. My office never gets taken apart. I have 3 setups. I have this desk. Maybe it's 4 setups now. I have this desk. I have the studio in the basement, and I have the setup behind me for the green screen. I have 3 setups where all I do is turn on lights, turn on switches, and I'm ready to film content. My setup to get ready to film takes me less than 3 minutes for all the cameras to be up and running and all the lights to be up and running. It takes me less than 3 minutes. That's efficiency. And that's what a big YouTuber has because they have a dedicated room and things to film. If you don't have that, have a dedicated corner or a dedicated desk that's set up or that have the things in the corner so you can reduce your setup time to like 5 minutes. And if you can reduce your setup to like time to 5 minutes of prep, you won't lose the energy to make your content. I hope that's helpful to like the majority. I'm like, I need to drink after that. So Right Consciousness is talking about my infinite subscriber engine. My infinite subscriber engine or my evergreen subscriber engine. When I talk about this in my book, guys, definitely make sure you're checking out my book. Create Something Awesome, How Creators Are Profiting from Their Passion, the Creator Economy. It's on Amazon, link in the description. Should I focus on 50 to 100 videos on one topic with only one topic, or do 50 videos about 5 topics at once? Here's the thing. So what I see working for like a lot of creators right now is creating mini series, right? Creating mini series. And I wish I had talked more about this in the book, but creating mini series is actually how you get the most out of a topic. So the thing is, let's use ChatGPT, for example. Let's use ChatGPT. In the chat right now, do any of you think that there is a downside to me or frankly to anybody, but for me specifically? Does anybody here think there is a downside to me making 100 videos in the next 2 years, 50 to 100 videos in the next 2 years about ChatGPT? Anybody? Does anyone think there's a downside? Is there a downside or is there an upside? Let me know in the chat. Is there a downside or is there an upside to me having 50 to 100 videos about ChatGPT, right? Now, someone would say, that's a lot of content. Aren't you going to get bored with that? Here's how you would do it. I could make multiple mini series this year that get me 50 ChatGPT videos because I could make 5 videos in terms of ChatGPT that are just hacks videos. I can make 5 videos that are like 7 hacks, 5 tips, 10 tips, 15 tips, 12 tips. So now I've made my number series, my mini series, my 5 videos on hacks, tips, and tricks that's 5. And it's all based on numbers. And that's those hacks, tips, and tricks, right? Now I can make another series of videos. I can make 5 videos that are just about prompts. So now I can do a number series again. 7 free ChatGPT prompts to do blank. 8 ChatGPT prompts to do blank. 10 ChatGPT prompts to do blank. 12 free ChatGPT prompts to do blank. 15 free ChatGPT prompts to do blank. So now I've made 10 videos that are distinctively different because one was hacks and tips, and now this one is free prompts. Those are distinctly different videos on a subject matter and topic that I've still managed to leverage. And now I'm 10 videos deep, and these are unique enough because I've used mini series now, right? Now I can do a mini series that is jailbreaking ChatGPT, and I could do 5 videos where I attempt to jailbreak ChatGPT, and now I have 5 videos that are jailbreak experiments, right? Boom. Now I have another 5 videos. Now I can have another 5 videos where I'm just asking ChatGPT like questions like I asked ChatGPT 21 questions about blank. I asked ChatGPT 50 questions about blank. I asked ChatGPT 12 questions about blank. I asked ChatGPT. So I asked ChatGPT is another. So now I've made 20 videos about ChatGPT and I've made 4 different mini series. All of these videos can be suggested videos that suggest each other in the YouTube algorithm. I want to explain this strategy to you guys because I just literally told you how I can make 20 videos about ChatGPT and they're 20 unique videos because I made them unique enough. But think about it. If I make a mini series, all 5 videos in that mini series can recommend each other and anyone can come in at any point and discover one of these 5 videos. And then they have 4 other videos in this mini series that they can watch that are similar enough and have a similar enough title for YouTube to know who that viewer should be. So this is the trick, right? Then I have another mini series that's still about ChatGPT, leverages the same keyword, but now is a different angle because now instead of tips, I'm now using the thing, challenging it with questions. The questions are kind of an experiment. The jailbreak thing is an experiment. So now I have what you would call suggested video candidates. And now I'm making those suggested candidates deeper and I'm making them interconnected. So now there's intersectionality among these playlists and there's intersectionality among these mini series because they have an overarching connecting theme and tissue. They have 3 seamlessly relevant and relatable things to them that are consistent beyond me being beyond the me as the host being what's consistent. And so now these all can work together and they can all surface each other. And now they're an entry point for viewer attention and viewer interest. And they're all evergreen videos that can be surfaced indefinitely around a topic that has unlimited potential and indefinite potential because it's a tool. It's a topic and it's a tool. So, and it has the ability to win in suggested, just like we talked about, but it also is search friendly. And it also is relevant, which means it still wins on the homepage. So now, homepage, traffic source, I can win, get click-through rates. I can win in search forever on this topic because it's valuable enough. And I have enough suggested video candidates because I'm making deep playlists that are interconnected and overlapping. And I'm making multiple mini series and I'm making them with similar titles and consistent themes. And I'm differentiating them enough to have multiple points of entry. So now I'm leveraging the primary traffic sources of YouTube in terms of the browse / homepage, search, and suggested. I'm capitalizing on the majority of them. They're also around a topic that could make my videos sourced in terms of promotion externally. And if I've done the listicle style videos right, they can be remixed and they can be made into shorts and they can be clipped. Because by making 12 this, 5 this, 7 this, if I film it correctly, each of those tips can be done in segments that don't exceed 30 seconds per segment. Even if I cover a tip for 1 minute, if the 1 minute is filmed and edited correctly, it'll be filmed as 30-second clips and 15-second clips so that it can be remixed into YouTube Shorts and clipped for YouTube Shorts if I want it to be or if someone else wants it to be. So now it's been massively strategic. So now you literally see how, like, and then here's the thing. I could make 5 live streams that are ChatGPT. I can make a ChatGPT live stream that's a real-time tutorial. I could do a jailbreak experiment in real time. I could do prompts in real time. I could ask questions for the audience in exchange for super chats in real time. So now I could do 5 ChatGPT live streams without it being redundant by just spreading them out and doing them like once a month. So I could get 10 more. So now I'm 30 videos deep and it's not repetitive, redundant, and it's all different. And now I have these different formats. Oh, wow. And so now I have all this. And then I can make 10 shorts out of some of that footage. So now all of a sudden I got shorts inventory. So now, oh my God, I'm 40 videos deep and I still could do 2 more playlists that I could come up with. And now I'm 50 videos deep in a year and it's not redundant and it's not repetitive. And now I have access to every traffic source in YouTube. I have multiple videos that can be winning in suggested, homepage, search, all of it, and the shorts feed. And now I've actually capitalized all 3 formats of YouTube. And that, my friends, is a content strategy. That's a content strategy. A content strategy allows you to take advantage of these multiple things and to go deep and consider all aspects of YouTube, consider aspects of the algorithm from traffic sources, viewer interest, retention ability, discoverability, topic title, thumbnail, and timing, and also time of relevancy of the niche, time of escalation of the niche, overall growth metric and horizon, normalization of the niche. And by the way, because other people make videos about this, your videos are now, when you have 50 videos, you have 50 videos and all of them can be a suggested video candidate for every viral video made about this topic in the future. So when you have 50 to 100 videos around a topic like ChatGPT, I'm just using it as an example because it's a trending topic. When you make 50 to 100 videos about a topic that's trending and a topic that has evergreen value, a topic around maybe something that's a tool or a long tail thing. So when you pick to do 50 to 100 videos on something that is long tail, you can build a content strategy optimized for it that is massively exploitative of every aspect of YouTube holistically. This is deep content. This is advanced content strategy. This is not this. Again, beginners will never think of this, by the way. Beginners will never think of this, not on their own, not without training, mind you. But, and that's no disrespect to beginners. It's like, why would you? It's hard enough to learn how to edit a video. A beginner is learning how to edit a video. A beginner is learning how not to suck on camera. A beginner is learning how to write a script. A beginner is learning how to make a thumbnail. So of course you're not going to necessarily think of this. This is that whole difference in here is the problems when you're like in middle management, like, it's different, right? So like that's kind of what I'm talking about to some extent in the book when I suggest that, and when I suggest going like 100 deep into reps. It doesn't have to be, because the thing is, people are worried about being bored, and that's where the passion thing comes in. Passion is necessary, but don't make it the number one priority. Passion is the fuel for your engine, but purpose is the direction you're driving in. So the direction you're driving in matters. You need enough fuel to get there. So again, that's the difference. Purpose matters, and you should plot the direction. And that's here's where I'm trying to go. That's the place I'm trying to get to. Okay. And passion is the fuel. And you know what practicality is? Practicality is the vehicle. Destination, vehicle, fuel. Destination, vehicle, fuel. And here's the thing. We need profit to maintain the vehicle, and sometimes we need that to supplement the fuel. So you can see the framework of purpose, passion, profit, practicality in that analogy. It's like we like, because by the way, also when you're struggling and you're starving and you don't have money, that passion wanes. It's like that passion wanes. You're not as passionate about it. You start to resent something, So like I said, like you need to think of these things a little bit more deeply, and you need the holistic aspect of it. So when I talk about going 100 videos deep on a topic, now you understand why. And now you understand the way you make it not boring. The way you make it not boring is you make like 5 to 8 videos as a mini series about this thing. And you make those 5 to 8 videos kind of in the same format, so to speak. So you're making variations of that. Then you introduce variety and novelty by approaching this topic, but now from a different angle. And I use ChatGPT because it's relevant and because I am going to make a series about this. But it's like, and that's the blueprint, so to speak. That is what is really going to like help you. Yeah. And Black Rose says, oh my God, motivation here to do the best so you can do what you really want, which is whatever you want to do. Right. If you make enough money to buy back your time freedom, you can do the thing you're passionate about and never worry about how well it performs, because you won't be having to do it for somebody to pay you for it. Like, again, that's why I brought up my photography. I bring this up because, again, it's not that I'm bad at photography, and it's not that I couldn't make money. I could make money doing photography. I have made money doing photography. What I learned was I learned that some of these things that I'm more passionate about, because I did monetize them, I learned that monetizing them burnt me out. And where did the burnout come from? The burnout came from performance anxiety, judgment, and worrying about money, and not just being able to do it on my own terms, right? Monetizing something is a good way to burn out doing it and resent doing it. That's why you should be careful about what you choose to monetize. And so when you go all in on your passion, again, I think you should do something you're passionate about, but not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because some people can do the thing they're most passionate about and not resent it and not burn out. But some people have monetized aspects of their life that destroyed their mental health. That's what I'm getting at. If you monetize the wrong aspect of your life, it will destroy your mental health, because your passion was the thing that you retreated to for peace. And now you decide to sell that part of yourself to somebody. Marinate on that. Just marinate on that. Marinate on it. Meditate on it. If you sell the part of yourself that was supposed to give you peace, you're not going to have any left for yourself. Don't sell the thing that you retreat to for peace consistently to everybody, because there won't be anything left for you. Like if you sell that part of yourself that, like, when that thing that you retreat to for your peace, when you decide you're going to sell that to other people, there ain't nothing left for you. You see, people don't think it's that deep until they do it. Like I'm turning 39 this year. I've monetized everything in my life at some point, for the most part. I've monetized so many aspects of my life that I realized what was good and bad about that. So I have the lived experience. That's why I can tell you. I've already made the mistake. I've already done it. Don't do this. No, I've done photography for a living before. And I'm like, oh, okay. Do something else so I can do that on my terms and still retreat here for peace. Like, so I would rather do that thing. Now, does that mean I'll never monetize photography? That I'll never sell prints? That I'll never make a photography video ever again? No. It just means that I will not make it like the number one. Oh, I will not go all in on that and profiteer that, because I know that when I profiteer it, that I am auctioning off peace that I now want at 39 for myself. I want that for myself. Now, again, I might feel differently at some other point in life. If I feel differently, I can explore it. That's the cool thing about life. You can explore different aspects of yourself. There's a different season of life for things. But I realized, my artwork, my photography, don't want to monetize that as much. I'd rather monetize my brains, my smarts, because again, I'd rather have something I can retreat to that I'm passionate about that gives me peace. And so many people sell their peace today, and then they wonder why they don't have any. Start selling that, you start selling that peace. How are you going to have any for yourself? It's a lesson that comes only from hardship for people if they don't listen to someone who's done it. So again, when you're young, if you're super young, this advice, you might be able to ignore it because maybe it works out for you, or maybe you have that stamina in the tank, or maybe, again, you're going to prove me wrong. That's fine. That is fine. And I'm not telling all of you to give up on being like a gamer or whatever, like, because some of you are going to make it, but some of you are going to be smart enough to realize, you know what, being practical about how I do YouTube gaming, I'm going to optimize, I'm going to min-max YouTube gaming. Like some of you, because remember, I'll tell you this, I've been a gamer before, by the way. I've been a gamer before, just on YouTube. I was a WoW player. For those of you who played World of Warcraft, you played WoW, you know how easy it is to turn WoW into a job. And I don't mean a job that pays you. I mean that you're taking it so seriously that you go to work at a 9 to 5 and then you clock into WoW. Right? You clock into World of Warcraft. Like, has anybody in the chat ever played World of Warcraft like that way back in the day, like years and years and years ago? Because like you clock out of your 9 to 5 job and you clock into Azeroth, you clock into World of Warcraft, and it's time to grind again. Right? It's like You work, you do wow, and you sleep, right? Okay. For some of you, that's what YouTube becomes. You see? And so that can become a problem. Now, WoW players, a lot of gamers and WoW players will do what's called min-maxing. You minimize and mitigate like your weaknesses. You don't really focus on them at all, and you are maximizing your strengths. You're going for a specific build, play style, gold, and an end game. And that's like, so you're just going to go all in on something, right? Now, there's a powerful aspect to min-maxing in life, but if you min-max the wrong things in life, it has major consequences. And burnout can be one of those consequences, right? Or being a starving artist can be one of those consequences. So, or just struggling to grow and maintain can be one of those consequences, because you picked something that you're not naturally suited to just because you like it more. And so the problem I have is that if someone's passion isn't practical in terms of their ability and their skills and their natural gifts, they've put themselves and set themselves up to lose and just kind of relegated themselves to enjoy the ride, when it's like, there are other enjoyable rides that you enjoy just 20% less, but you still like, that you could have won. There's games that you like less, but could have won and liked enough. So I'd rather you do what you like enough and win. I don't think you should do what you hate and win just because it works. There's plenty of content I know that I could exploit that will make me rich. I don't make it because I don't like that. So it's like, so I'm not going all in on something I hate for maximum profit. I decided that the practical thing is I'm passionate enough to sustain doing something. I'm practical enough to say I'm actually good at it. I figured out how it's profitable and I know what purpose it serves. And if I can balance those, I can have peace too. You see, that's the trick, is to just kind of navigate that. But it's hard to do when you're young, or when you're distracted, or when you don't have some of your maturity or your emotions balanced, or whatever sometimes you're going through. So it gets really difficult to navigate. And what's really makes a lot of content creators struggle is it really does. It puts people in a place to where you need perspective. And perspective, I think, comes with defining purpose. You define purpose, and then passion drives you forward in that purpose. But you need practicality so that you have the right vehicle, and a reliable vehicle, to extract the most value from your passion that pushes you forward to your purpose. Like, that's the analogy that I would use. Like, purpose, here's where we're going. This is our direction and destination. Practicality, here's the vehicle that we use to get there. And passion, here's the drive. Here's the emotional effort that keeps pushing this vehicle forward where it needs to go. And if you can harness those things properly, and if you can define those things for yourself, and you can make those things line up the way that they need to, that is what is going to make this all worthwhile and sustainable and more successful. And what happens is, people are passionate and they have no direction. Oh my God, that's a bad time. People are passionate, they have a direction, and then they do not have the right vehicle or reliable vehicle to get there. It's nothing but frustration. Because you're like, I want to go to this really good place and I'm really passionate about it. But damn, this vehicle, it's just not getting me there. It's constantly breaking down. It's setting me back all the time. Like, that's the problem when people aren't practical. When you have a purpose and a vision for your life and you're passionate about it, you still need an effective way to achieve it. You still need a way to get there. Silent Edge says, can a channel be successful uploading different category videos and still get views and subscribers, or just stick to one category targeted to one audience? Thanks. Generally speaking, you should do the latter. Generally speaking, this is what I'm talking about, because there's a hack, and it's called Be Michelle Carre. It's called Be Ryan Trahan, right? Because here's the difference. If you're not that interesting, or you're not a master storyteller, it is very hard to be a variety content creator and make videos in different categories. If you're not good at multiple things, It's very difficult. It's very difficult if you're not good at multiple things. So then the only way I could see making it work, and one of the only ways I see making it work, is if you look at what Michelle Carre does, and I can bring up her channel if you want. She does a series called Challenge Accepted. And what she does, and I'm bringing up her channel, she tries different things. She's multi-passionate. A lot of you identify as multi-passionate. Here's the problem. If you're going to be multi-passionate, you have to have the ability to pull it off and to make it interesting, which means you at least you have to basically become the most interesting person in the world, or the most interesting version of yourself. So you have to become the most interesting version of yourself. So if you're going to try things, and if you're not good at them and you might fail, then you have to make it a social experiment or challenge where you can explore these things you're multi-passionate about, and then make an interesting story out of them, so that you can say, I tried, and then this extreme thing. But if it's not an extreme and it's not that interesting to a stranger, because here's the thing, anyone can watch, I tried the Army, I tried Flight Attendant Academy, I joined the #1 cheer team in America, I ran a marathon in the hottest place on earth. Those things are something anyone could want to watch and care about, even if they've never heard of you before. So if you're not willing to become the most interesting version of yourself possible, I do not think it is that easy to succeed at being multi-passionate and doing multiple categories, versus just picking one thing that you are good at, that you like, and doing that as much as possible and as consistently as possible. Which means that for 90% of you, your path to succeeding on YouTube is to be consistent at one thing. If you think you have it in you to literally be, and if you're willing to do what it takes to become the best storyteller of all time, do interesting experiments, spend hours, like tens of hours filming an experiment and a challenge. If you're willing to take on new challenges every month or every week or every 2 weeks, and take a lot of risk. If you're a risk taker, if you're a daredevil, you get to do that. You get to do that. If you're a daredevil, if you are multi-passionate, but you're also extroverted, if you're multi-passionate and extroverted, if you're a daredevil, if you're a risk taker, if you're a tremendous storyteller, if you are a genuinely interesting person, or if you've ever been the class clown, or if you're a genius who thinks you can teach yourself anything, and you're like not even a genius, but very above average, and you are an autodidactic learner, I can teach myself anything. So I can try something for 30 days and be reasonably good at it, or at least be interesting enough, or fair game. Or if you're an athlete, you can do multi-category and be multi-passionate as a creator and be successful. Even if it takes years to accomplish, you could probably do that. If you're not a lot of those things, you probably are not qualified to be successful at that at a high level. You might be able to get to 10, 20,000 subscribers. And if that's enough, then that you could do that. Maybe if you're okay with the fact that if you try to do this, and the result will be in 5 years, you get to 20,000 subscribers. And if that makes you happy enough and you feel good enough with that, you can go the variety route and be a multi-passionate creator. If you can live with that and the results of that, then you can do that. If you can step up and you know that you can go to extremes and you can take a lot of risk and you can do challenges, maybe you're really extroverted, or if you're an introvert, maybe you're a high level autodidactic learner and very versatile, then maybe you can pull that off. But it is so ridiculously rare and so few people get to do it, that it's why I can tell you, and I will make a dedicated video on the strategy for doing this. I'm telling you here and now, 90% of people don't qualify. More people could do the work to qualify, but they're also going to constantly put themselves through risk, because even making this kind of content is physically, emotionally, and mentally exhausting. Same thing for Ryan Trahan. You can make that content, and you can make that content on a budget. And he didn't necessarily start out with high budget content. You can do this, but one, I don't think you'll be Ryan Trahan and get 10 million subs out of it. But my main thing is, we're still talking about an extraordinarily high level of difficulty, risking, and there's some physical risk and emotional and mental risk involved in attempting to do challenge style, massively interesting content like this, which is why people who are athletic, the people who do this kind of content, like, it's a top tier person that is either top tier physically, mentally, or emotionally, or all three, right? Already way above average, way above average. Like, it's already hard enough to be above average enough to just be a content creator. Like, to be a content creator, you already have to be above average to some extent in something, or become above average to some extent. Just becoming a video editor is above average. Just editing videos is something average people are not good at. So, like, just becoming a good video editing, good at video editing, good at performance, good at public speaking, good at filming, good at, like, you're already becoming good at like 8 things. Okay. And then you have to be more interesting than most people. It's very difficult to do, right? And let's like scroll past like Ryan's Penny series, right? Because then you also have to be creative enough to constantly come up with good ideas about different things if you're going to be a multi-passionate creator. Most people are not qualified to be most multi-passionate creators, because even though you like a bunch of things, you're not good at a bunch of things. But if you're not good at a bunch of things, then you have to make videos that are challenges, and you have to be willing to take some public embarrassment of not being good at the challenge or failing the challenge and seeing it through to the end and making the content. You also have to make the content interesting. While you're not good at it, you still have to be able to be a performer to make trying something look interesting even when you're bad at it. And then you have to be able to fail in public. So that's why I don't think most people are qualified to be multi-passionate creators and be successful at it. I don't think most people are qualified. And I think the work to become qualified is physically, mentally, and emotionally taxing. And I don't think most people are qualified to do that and have a 9-to-5 job at the same time, which is why the creators who do it, guess what? The reason that most of the creators who succeed at being multi-passionate, multi-category creators, you know what they have in common? Most of them have in common. Most of them started doing YouTube when they were teenagers or in their 20s, when they have the most upside for taking risk, the most upside for killing time, and the least financial responsibility. Most of you are not in that position to where you can be, you know what, I'm dropping out of school or work or whatever and being a full-time content creator tomorrow, and I'm going to give YouTube a year, and I'm going to go all out and make the most interesting story every time I make up a video for 1 year, and I'm going to upload 50 videos. Most of you are not Michelle Khare, Eric, or Ryan Trahan, or Mr. Beast in terms of having the capacity and ability to do that. Michelle Khare is a different story because she started out with BuzzFeed, which means she had momentum and an opportunity to transition. And she also had contacts and things to help to be able to make that transition. Y'all can't, a lot of you, if you are not a full-time content creator, you can't win that game of being a multi-passionate, successful, uploading in different categories, because you don't have the time freedom, you don't have the financial resources, and you don't have the help. That's the real underlying secret to creators who do this. They even when they're young and broke, the advantage is they have time freedom, and they're putting all their time and literally every dollar they have into doing YouTube. And someone who can't do that can't compete with someone who does. Not at the same level. It's not the same. Like, that's the harsh truth of that aspect of YouTube. And it sucks to have to tell people that, because I know it's a dream killer thing, but I'm just like, I'm one of the people who will be honest with you about what that is and why, and why most people already fail YouTube. So picking that route is now, I'm taking the highest level of difficulty in a thing that already has an absurd failure rate, is like, that's a really stressful endeavor to do. And when you have to do it and know, okay, you're going to do that, you're going to stake your financial future on it. Your family's probably not going to respect you doing it. You're going to take massive criticism. You're going to have to publicly take L's on the internet. And you're not going to make any money up front for the first year or 2 or 3 years. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. And that's the truth. Now, there are ways to more. Now, here's the thing. you could always transition to some extent if you succeed financially by staying in like one lane, and you can change lanes to some extent if there's enough overlap, or if you develop yourself or something, or you can start a new channel. Like, you can grow, but and you can pivot. You can grow and you can pivot, right? You can grow and you can pivot, and you can cross over categories to some extent if you figure enough of it out, to some extent, because you've at least proven your capacity to build an audience. But you have to remember, 90% of people never get 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, ever, ever, ever. 90% of people, 90% of content creators never get 10,000. I'm more okay with someone who's proven to themselves that they can get 10,000 subscribers, pivoting and doing something or going into other categories, but not really before. Because even all of your favorite multi-passionate creators, most of them stayed in one lane and got an audience of over 10K before they ever decided to try to take on other things. A lot of them waited till they had 50K. A lot of them waited till they had 100K. A lot of them waited till they had 1 million, and then they became multi-passionate creators who can do whatever they want. Like, that's the truth. Like, when you analyze people's YouTube career and you look at their content, a lot of it's that. Now there's exceptions to that rule, but they're exceptions. I've tried to build the advice that I give you around identifying what works most consistently in the most verifiable and consistent situation. So I try to find the rules rather than reverse engineer the exceptions. But if I'm going to talk about exceptions, and when I talk about exceptions, when I talk about exceptions, the main thing is, if I'm going to reverse engineer exceptions, I'm going to reverse engineer exceptions and say, here's the lifestyle and circumstances that this exceptional person had. And then you need to ask yourself if you have those lifestyle requirements to even attempt to do what they did, and do you have the resources? So when I look at someone who's an exception, whether it's a Mr. Beast, a Ryan Trahan, a Michelle Khare, a Emma Chamberlain, something like that, right? Even who am I thinking of? Kelly Stamps, right? Janelle Iliana, Joanna Sidia, something like that, right? Whenever I look at these exceptions in YouTube and these breakout stars in YouTube and these larger than life characters, I reverse engineer and I start to think about, okay, are they working a 9-to-5 job and doing YouTube? And usually the answer is no. Right? Look at Eric. Eric already has successful wedding photography and wedding filmmaking business, and was able to get the manpower of taking 2 of his employees away from that business to help him. He had an efficiency advantage because he already had filmmaking and video in his background. So he had an efficiency advantage over everyone. And then he had the time freedom and the investment capital to say, I'm going to take like $75,000 out of my bank account from the money I made from my business, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I have people who can run my business in the background. So Eric was able to grow on YouTube from 0 to 1 million in a year because he had unlimited time freedom as an entrepreneur, investment capital as an entrepreneur, manpower he could borrow from his business as an entrepreneur, and the efficiency of a process that he got from already being an entrepreneur. And if you're a normal person, you don't have any of that, usually. And that's the difference. Ryan Trahan had the time freedom of being young. He had done some YouTube and some success, but he didn't need a lot of investment capital for the content he was going to do, but he invested in the right amount of equipment and figured that out. He had the manpower of 2 friends to help him, and he figured out a very efficient process. And he also had the efficiency of being a professional athlete because he was a state champion level cross-country runner. So he already understood efficiency and economy of effort. Most of you don't have that. Michelle Khare was a BuzzFeed employee. She had some time freedom and time advantages of being able to use the runway from a career in social media and contacts and things like that. Investment capital from being able to be hardworking, save up, very frugal, things like that between her and her significant other. She had manpower because she had help and support from her significant other in doing these endeavors, and friends around her, and contacts and people she made at BuzzFeed. And she had the efficiency that came from working as a BuzzFeed content creator to be able to leverage that as well, and an audience to leverage from that as well. So like, again, these advantages, right? Mr. Beast's time freedom was he was a student and he cut out all of his other hobbies and obsessed only over YouTube. He invested every dollar he made from YouTube and from like little part-time, like penny henny jobs into YouTube exclusively. So invested all of his money, which most of you will not do, and shouldn't do necessarily. Manpower, he recruited his friends, paid them pennies or whatever he made in ad revenue, whatever, got his friends to help him very early on as best as he could. And then he got really efficient at YouTube by studying. He wanted algorithmic advantage versus process efficiency and production efficiency. And then he eventually went to production efficiency and process advantage as well. And, scaled that and made himself non-duplicatable. The successful YouTubers always master the time framework that I'm talking about, which is time. And for everyone who wasn't here earlier, time stands for time, freedom, investment capital, manpower, and efficiency. Every successful YouTube channel masters those 4 things. And the biggest advantage between small, the thing that separates small YouTubers from big YouTubers is those 4 things typically. There are other things, but that's the simplistic way of looking at it is, damn, where's my time freedom? I don't have 40 hours to put into a single video because I have a full-time job or I'm a student or whatever. It's like, or I have a family or I have kids or I have like time freedom. Biggest disadvantage you have. Investment capital. That one hurts sometimes. It's hard to compete with people who invest $10,000 or $1,000 into a video when you can't invest anything. That's hard. It's hard to compete with that. The efficiency they get from investing into things that matters. Oh, you're by yourself versus someone who has 3 people to help them on a YouTube video. That's rough. And then efficiency. Efficiency comes from having more time to learn things and to get processes, or more capital to invest in efficiency, or the efficiency that comes from more manpower to begin with, or the efficiency from experience. That's a big gap for a small YouTuber to cross to compete with a successful YouTuber. That is a chasm. That is what we call in business. That's what we call building a moat. That is the moat that YouTubers build. I actually, even one of my students is here, Dr. Mike Diamonds, about to hit 1 million subscribers. I've been coaching and working with Mike. We've done, I think, like 5 calls, and like we've seen some results and stuff like that. And like it's higher level stuff like this that we really like to dive into and talk about. But he has an advantage too. He has an editor that helps him in everything that's really smart. He has a coach to help him be more efficient and stuff like that. And he has the time advantage. And that's like a 1 million subscribed channel, or is close to it. He's over at 900K. He'll be at 1 million this year. So like, again, time advantage, investment capital, manpower, and efficiency. Those are massive advantages. And when you have those things working for you and someone else doesn't, it is so hard for them to compete with you. It's so hard. And it's so hard to overcome as a small YouTuber. But with time, you can overcome that as a small YouTuber if you focus just on freeing up your time and using your time efficiently. If you don't have investment capital and you don't have manpower and people to help you, if all you did was like use your time and get more time and use your time wisely and become extraordinarily efficient, that will overcome so much. And then you'll earn a little bit of money as a content creator, and then you'll be able to invest in it. And that will then make up the difference. And you'll have investment capital, and that could buy you manpower. It can buy you more efficiency. It could buy you more time. And that's really, really where it is. But if I was going to start with anything, I become efficient and I become a master of my time freedom and using my time effectively. Because that's the thing that costs $0. And that's what I would focus on. And if I can get help from friends and family, that was one of my big mistakes, is I did not get enough help and I didn't ask for real help. I felt like a burden. And I didn't want to ask for help. If I gotten any help, I would have been much more successful, much faster. But I didn't have anyone to teach me that either. So that's a thing. Matt Lane Fitness with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much. I don't know what I don't know about growing my business. Started in 2017. Which one should I do? Awesome Creator Academy or a one-on-one with you? Thank you. Greatly grateful for watching your videos over the years. Okay, so Matt Lane Fitness. You already are in the fitness niche. I think that one-on-one with me, because I can be specific with you and because I've helped people in the fitness niche before, I think that for you specifically, working one-on-one with me would probably be your best bet. Is the more expensive option to work one-on-one with me, but is your best bet because then we are specific and focused only on your issues, your goals, your systems, your efficiencies. We can audit you. That's the best bet, is to go one-on-one, because I can get as narrow as possible with you, versus if in the academy you're in a group environment. And yes, we meet twice a week. We meet twice a week for office hours calls, but I can spend laser focused time on you in a one-on-one, and that probably will get you the most actionable things possible in a realistic way. And I've actually worked successfully with people in your niche. Dr. Mike Diamonds is in the fitness niche as well. And I wouldn't share Mike's data or results really with you, but we'd figure out something that works for you in the fitness niche. And I've worked with other people in that niche before as well. So we just go deep on only your situation, and your content's going to be very different from Mike, and what your situation is and what your team, if you have a team, is going to be different than Mike's. Your time is going to be different. The resources you have at your disposal and the workflow will be different. So my advice is one-on-one advice is the best advice. One-on-one advice is the best advice, but free advice that's broadly available in general can help you get to a place where it would make sense to get more specific and be one-on-one. Learning with a group of people can help you, because then you have emotional support. The reason I do Awesome Creator Academy as a group is because the thing that I think hurt the most in my YouTube journey was how damn isolating and lonely it was. I think how isolating and lonely YouTube was in the early part of content creation. Those first 3 years of making 800 videos were really isolating, lonely, and the community was what I really think I emotionally relied on during that time, but it was hard. It was bone crushingly, soul drainingly hard. And I didn't have enough people to talk to that understood any of this. I didn't have guidance for the most part. I had like 2 creator friends that I didn't want to burden. I didn't want to ask them for anything. They were bigger than me at the time. And then I became larger at the time than them. Then I felt comfortable to talk to them, because then I didn't feel like a burden, because then I felt like we were exchanging value. And the thing is, like, to some extent, that was like, they didn't feel that way about me. And that was just me being insecure, like, and me telling myself that, you know, oh, you're going to be a burden. They're going to think you're using them, or they're not going to like you anymore. Like, you know how it is. You get insecure, you work yourself up, especially like if you're more introverted. It's very hard to feel sometimes like people want to help you if you would ask, and then you're worried about being rejected or how it's going to be perceived, or like you're worried about like feeling like you're using people. There's all this guilt. So like my creator journey was super lonely. It was super lonely. It was super isolating. It was really hard. And like my family was supportive, but they didn't understand, but they were supportive, and that's cool. But it's not the same thing as having people get you. It's not the same thing as feeling seen. It's not the same thing that you get when you have when you have peers. Community is great. Audience is great. Peers is it's different when you have people that are doing the same thing as you, on the same journey, on the same mission. And that matters a lot. That matters significantly for the mental health and sustainability and the emotional aspect of being a content creator. And so it's one of the biggest problems you have to solve for, is developing a way to make this fit right size in your life. I can tell you about the efficiency, workflow part, and processes, and that's great. That's the robotic side. That's that's turning yourself into the machine appliance side of this. The analytics is the machine part of this. The maintaining your mental and emotional stability, your physical well-being, your habits, and your career development, and your mindfulness around this it will never succeed to make content about that, which is why I've come around to making courses, because if I teach courses, I can give you the analytical data and processes, and I can give you mindset, and it won't feel like it's turning people off. And I can do it in live streams. And that's the other thing. I can do it in live streams. That's why I like live streams with all of you, is because I can tell you the thing that you won't ask me about that matters, because the mindset, the mental models, the frameworks for career development, the relationship building, the networking aspect, that will never get 50,000 views on YouTube. That will never get 50,000 views. It will struggle to get 10 to 20,000 views on YouTube. But it is necessary for it to exist somewhere. So writing books, writing articles, doing podcasts, doing live streams, and doing courses is where the meat of mental models, mindset, and the mental health of being a content creator can exist in those things and in that framework, because it is the thing no one will ask about that they will wish they had, and they'll wish someone had an answer for it. Because if I could go back in time, the one of the biggest things I would tell myself would be to ask for help sooner, to reach out and to build community with other creators as peers and not feel burdened, or like I'm a burden to people rather, and not feel guilt, and to not just focus on the mechanical aspect of content creation, which is where I've lived, but focus on the emotional aspect of like what you are experiencing. I would have journaled more. I would have really prioritized aspects of my mental health more. There's a lot of things I would do differently, but it wouldn't all have been growth. It wouldn't all been growth. A lot of it would have just been balancing myself out a lot more and really figuring out what I could live with in terms of the commitment of energy, mind, space, the mental energy, and what it looks like to do this for a decade. That's like, I didn't necessarily know I'd still be making content by this point in life, and I still actually believe I'll be making content 5 to 10 years from now. I genuinely believe I will make content 10 years from now. But I can say that now because now I understand how to live through it. I understand how to live through it in a very different way now. And going through the pandemic, I now have a better understanding of what I need mentally and emotionally to be my best when it comes to all aspects of life, but also as a content creator, and to do it in a healthy way. So Salma Jafari, good to see you, my friend. Hi, Roberto. I'd love to hear your take on how YouTube SEO has changed in 2023 and what SEO strategies are working for topics and titles now. Actually, I can show you some data on that. Because the good news is, and thank you for the $10 super chat. The good news is, as an analytics guy, I can tell you that the thing you need to be looking at is you need to look at a combination of what videos grow your audience, which is a tab in the audience development tab. You need to look at the other channels people watch from you and the other individual videos. And so it's not about SEO as much as it is about VO. So instead of search engine optimization, I would call it, and I might not have a good term for this. Maybe it's not SEO. Maybe it's maybe it's AOD now. And I'm going to make a new acronym, actually. I'm going to make a new acronym. We're going to call this AOD. And what does AOD stand for? AOD is Audience Optimization and Discovery. AOD is Audience Optimization and Discovery. And so why do I call it Audience Optimization and Discovery? Because you need to know when your viewers are active, awake, and aware. And you can find this through YouTube data, and you can do this through experiments and posting and so on and so forth. So you can do that. I've found different various sweet spots. I've posted almost every single combination of hour and day that is possible because I've made 1,500 videos. So I have absurd levels of data. Here's what I will tell you. If I look at the videos my audience has watched in the last 7 days, and I ignore shorts, right? I go to shorts. I avoid shorts and look at the videos. I can now psychologically profile my audience, and now I can optimize for what my audience will want to watch. And then in terms of discoverability, I can think about all of my different traffic sources and optimize against that. So if I look at this, my audience, it's not just that it's Daniel Schiffer, it's that there's a lot of people in the content creator community who are feeling burnt out on making content. So why stop making content? I could see, okay, people are feeling burnout already in the beginning of the year. Got it. How to become a full-time content creator with my friend Modern Millie. We're both Spreadshop ambassadors. I can go, okay, topics around full-time content creator. Got it. AI, let's see, videos that are doing well. We have some really good stuff. Profitable niche. Great. My most profitable niche in YouTube videos, making a strong comeback. Thank you, Dan Coe. Dan is also a good friend over in Twitter. Boom. So that's like outlier. Boom. I know that. So what do? I optimize. Audience is responding to that. I now optimize a video for discovery around that from multiple traffic sources. Okay, cool. Modern Millie, content creation. That's the reality of YouTube finance gurus. I don't want to make negative content, so I'm not going to optimize around an audience that's clicking on that, even though there's a lot of views in it. Great. We interviewed YouTube employees. Great. I can reach out to my contacts, and then I can make videos where I interview YouTube employees. Boom. And this is also about YouTube Shorts. Boom. I know that people are going to watch about YouTube Shorts. Oh, channel using AI. Okay. So starting YouTube channels, AI. Oh, I tried YouTube automation for 30 days. That's more AI. Okay. Side hustles. Boom. That's working. Got it. So now I know that. Now in shorts, if I look at what shorts are my audience watching, if this thing wants to work. Okay. What shorts are my audience watching? Oh, boom. YouTube automation. Okay. I don't make gaming content, so no Hogwarts. Why is the next page not working for me? Maybe that's all in shorts. Or maybe it's just lagging because I'm live right now. Hang on, let me try refreshing. See if that works. But all right, so like again, my point is if I go and I look at what the audience is responding to and I decide that I'm going to condition around audience response more. Okay, so look at this. Nick Nimmin, big update to YouTube Shorts just happened. Okay, that's a live stream. Copy this system to get more views, more views. Okay, so there's Film Booth. There's Ed. Chat GPT. Boom, that was a live. I don't do exposed videos, travel. My audience seems to care about Super Bowl. Okay, Patrick Bet David. But it's about someone I don't know, so I don't care. Okay, so my audience cares about these things in live streams, but I found and consolidate around YouTube Shorts, and Chat GPT is what they care about from live stream content. If I figure out on Shorts, it looked like it was a lot of the AI content as well, so Chat GPT stuff. So I can consolidate and say, okay, here are things based on the data that my audience cares about based on data. And so now I can optimize around that. Now, in terms of how to optimize, now I need to optimize also against reach and traffic sources. So I already know that for suggested, more live videos. So I now can choose topics for live videos, optimize around discovery of those live videos via suggested, promote in my community tab, do live engagement, get my timing right for going live, get 200 to 300 viewers on my live streams, get a bunch of super chats. So I can optimize around the format and traffic source and know how to use that, and also make the content have strong replay value, maintain high average view durations by making the content a certain way, all that. So I know how to capitalize on those live streams. Great. In terms of the optimization and reach and traffic source stuff around, let's say, individual like videos that are upload videos, let's say, right? If I look at the videos that perform the best, again, instead of search, which I have 30% of the traffic coming from search, so it's good traffic. It's good traffic, but I could go ahead and if I focus on YouTube search and I click on the terms, then I can start to use the terms, and then I can go, okay, so that's what I'm getting from search. So if I optimize around that, I need to build a content strategy, map to the audience, see what the audience is already watching and respond to, because YouTube's distribution of views for individual viewer algorithms is predicated on previous watch history. It's predicated on previous watch history. The other thing I can do is I can go into the advanced mode of my analytics. I go into advanced analytics. And I can go to more metrics, and I can go to, where is it? Traffic sources, somewhere here. Actually, wait, here it is. Traffic sources. Okay. So now I can look at these traffic sources, and then I can start to try to optimize around traffic sources. Now, disproportionately, the balance is in favor of suggested videos here over a 90-day period. And so that's the thing that proves most consistent. You want to do things in quarters. Like, okay, over 90 days, suggested videos is delivering the most traffic for us in terms of views, because I'm assuming we care about views, right? So if we care about views, it's doing that. And then, okay, well, so what's doing that? The bloody average view duration is clearly the performance metric that's happening there, because it's not click-through rate, that's for sure. Click-through rate is the performing outlier metric when it comes to the search videos. So in terms of performance, when it comes to the search, then that seems to be a relevant factor. If I add retention, which is average percentage viewed, to this model and try to see if I can add that to the equation. For one thing, that's the outlier largely when it comes to the shorts feed, yay. But when I look at these other ones and I go to average percentage viewed, where is it? Average percentage viewed. So the combination and sweet spot, I start to find the combination and sweet spot for performance when it comes to the metrics around search. So I would say that retention plus click-through rate has a really strong correlation to search and to homepage, surfacing, to search and homepage. And why do I say that? Because I'm looking at the amount of impressions also. I'm looking at not just views, I'm looking at impressions, and not just impression click-through rates, but impressions, because the amount of opportunity is determined by impressions. So the opportunity is determined by impressions, right? And the thing that I've gotten impressions-wise with working for, that I had to not work for at all, is playlist, apparently. And that seems to have a crazy good average view duration. So there is something to that. It's worth revisiting, right? But suggested videos surface me probably the most overall impressions, and followed by browse and then search. However, I'm also not necessarily making YouTube Shorts, and I don't think YouTube Shorts gives you impressions per se for the Shorts feed. It does for other sources of traffic that Shorts gets, but not the feed. But I'm also not making that content. So if I'm going to optimize, I don't need to optimize for search terms. I need to optimize for audience discovery. So I would say audience optimization and discovery. Audience optimization and discovery for me is about identifying how audiences interact with different types of content formats, how they operate, how they interact with different traffic sources, and then optimizing around format, traffic source, and interest around topic, title, and thumbnail, and engagement. And so if I focus on that, since YouTube is really about serving viewers, if I decide to optimize around audience discovery instead of search engines, then I have the real leverage and longevity. So again, I'm answering the question about SEO is search traffic will be incidental to making more content about something that is searched for. So right now, ChatGPT is probably the most searched for thing, right? Like, so Yeah, I'll get searches off of ChatGPT, but it's also going to get massive homepage clicks, and it's going to be a suggested video against all the viral videos being made about ChatGPT. So I would optimize for audience and discovery and not specifically for search engines, because I can get search engine traffic if I optimize for an audience and I just keep in mind that search is one way they discover content. And so, and again, if I want to worry about search terms, yes, I can go into here and see, well, what are people searching on around my content? Sure. And it's not like I'm not getting search. Like I'm, if I like go off of views like that are generated by search in the last 90 days, I get some views off of search in the last 90 days, but compared to suggested, it's not as many, but it's consistent and it's not nothing. I still make $100,000. So not 100. I wish. Sorry. I still make $1,000 off of 100,000 views. So it's not like search is meaningless to me. It's $1,000 extra from search traffic. It's $1,000 extra. So whatever. Right. But if I really just optimize more around audience discovery, that's where the real leverage for growth lies. So, Salma, it's not about being a search creator. It's about whether or not your content itself is searchable, but you should still be prioritizing optimizing around audience. Now, in terms of to answer the question outrightly, what is going to leverage SEO? It's going to be a combination of, yes, topic, title, thumbnail, and timing, but also transcripts. Transcripts for your videos actually matter significantly. We also know this because of YouTube's policy changes around swearing. For example, we know that the algorithm weights the early part of the video and the transcript. So guess what? Do SEO for the hooks of your videos for the first 15 seconds of your videos, because YouTube's algorithm is already monitoring the first 15 seconds of your videos to see if you cursed enough to throttle monetization and to age gate your content. So if it's going to throttle monetization and age gate your content based on analyzing the first 15 seconds of the transcript of your video, then you should SEO optimize and discovery optimize the first 15 seconds of your video. So script your hooks with SEO in mind for the first 15 seconds, first 30 seconds, first minute of your videos, optimize it and keep SEO in mind for that, because the algorithm's watching and listening to that, and that because they made it part of demonetization and age gating. So if that, that's what you reverse engineer right then and there. YouTube and Google are they both owned by Google. Google search engine and YouTube are the two biggest search engines and owned by the same company. Google search results surface YouTube videos as a priority, YouTube playlists as a priority, and YouTube Shorts as a priority. So search engines include Google. So if I optimize for Google, I'm doing something right. So they also utilize snippets from YouTube chapters labeled in videos. So manually make YouTube chapters for your videos, and those will be surfaced in Google. Make playlist for your videos that can be surfaced in Google. Make YouTube Shorts that can be surfaced in Google search, and make YouTube videos that can be surfaced in Google. So that's another optimization angle. And what is optimized is optimizing aspects of your videos around queries that people might ask. Reframing the question in the transcript of your video is helpful. Reframing a question in a chapter section of your video is helpful because it's a question that'll be typed into the YouTube search bar. And then what is search around? Broad match, phrase match, exact match. So there's that aspect. YouTube's own homepage and viewer interest algorithm for individuals, Harry Potter sorting hat. Harry Potter sorting hat based on interest and topics. Easier your topic is to identify, easier it is to serve to someone and say, you've watched 100 videos on this in the last 48 hours. So here's another video like this. And how do you do that? Topic, title, thumbnail, timing, tags, transcripts, and also chapters. So these are aspects of your video that help you optimize for another leverage piece of discovery in aspects of YouTube. So again, I optimize around discovery. I optimize around discovery per format, per traffic source, and not just around search engine. Search is an aspect of discovery. So I'll just skip ahead and say, if search is an aspect of discovery, I'll optimize around discovery. Search serves an audience, I'll optimize around audience. So I hope that makes sense when I say it. I'm just going to go a level higher, 2 if I can. So I'll just like, attack from the sky, death from above. Like, um, yep. So let's see. I'm scrolling through your stuff. We're going to wrap up here because I'm losing my voice and because I need to go eat something. 10G Colin. Roberto, I've been doing street journalism. That's a good niche. So 10G Colin says, Roberto, I've been doing street journalism for over a decade. Do you think it's too saturated now? I want to start doing long form YouTube videos like that as my short form ones are working. Okay, so I would do more street journalism because I think it's going to be more popular. Because here's the thing, it's saturated at the bottom with people attempting it. There's not saturated with, there's not like 1,000 really good, really big channels that are doing street journalism, or are there? Like, right. So the thing is, it's not saturated at the top level of quality. Are the people doing street journalism, are they really good at it? Yes or no? You've been doing it for a decade. You've got more experience. You also, having more experience, know what novelty and variety would look like. So you probably can make this new again while also having experience because you already know how to do things that they don't. You probably have a level of access that people don't. And so 10G Colin, if you want to do street journalism, you can look at the trends that these kids are doing, but they're still amateurs, right? So if you look at, if an amateur is getting popular off of something, use the resources of being an OG and leverage, because guess what? These kids that are doing it, they're broke. So throw money at it and then increase the quality and out budget them. Okay, these kids, they're doing it, they're amateurs, they have no experience. Leverage your experience and your smarts. And you know what these kids have? They don't have a network because they're new. They're upstarts. They're new, right? So they don't have a network. They don't have access. You can still do street journalism, but you have access to things and places that they don't, that are much more interesting possibly. So now you have another angle. So the thing is, you can always interject novelty, variety, and the leverage of difficulty, the challenge of difficulty. So the challenge of difficulty, the novelty of Viva la Difference, and like of you having something truly unique that introduces novelty, and then variety in the niche itself in terms of here is something these other people are not offering. And then uniqueness, the novelty is something not only that they're not offering as far as a creative idea, something they can't offer because they don't have the skill, access, or resources to pull it off. So for all of you who aren't following, let me simplify it again. Here is how you compete in a saturated niche, period. Here's how you compete, period. What can't someone else do in your niche because it is too damn difficult? Become somebody that no longer has to compete with the bottom of the market, because find something that is so difficult that 90% of the people that are in the niche that are saturated cannot do because it's too difficult, it's too expensive, or they don't have the access, they don't have the ability, or it's too damn risky. Now, 90% of the market is gone and it's not saturated anymore, and it's 10% of you that can even try. There you go. So now you've reduced the market considerably. Now, in terms of variety, the variety of it is now, how do I add something new and intriguing that people aren't looking at and aren't doing? Now, out of the 10% of people that can't hang, because it's only 10% of people that can hang now in terms of like the level of difficulty I've raised my bar to, my standards. My standards eliminated 90% of the market. Now I need Viva la Difference. I need variety only among the 10% that are remaining. And now that's reduced the playing field considerably. Yet again. Okay. And so this is how we do it, right? So what are they not bringing to the table? Okay. What is it they can't even think of doing because they're disqualified? If you do that, you now are competing in a very, very small field. So any niche that's saturated, I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter if you make yourself an elite. And what you do is you say, let me go where they can't compete because they can't handle it, because it's too intense, because it's too hot for them to do, too hard for them to do, too painful for them to do, too expensive for them to do. They don't have the clout to get in. Like, go where they can't even try to compete if they wanted to. So that okay, can't keep up with that. Great. Now, out of the people that are left, what aren't they doing? What aren't they bringing to the table? It's that straightforward. I ain't saying it's easy. It's actually very hard. It's very hard, but it isn't complicated. It's very hard. It's not complicated. I've demystified it. You can now compete in any niche if you are willing to bring it. But that's what you got to do. You got to bring it. You got to bring it. Now, the problem is, do most people qualify to do that? And the answer is no. Most people don't qualify to do that. To do that, sometimes you need experience. 5-10 years of experience, big advantage. Because then you have a network, you have access, you have people that they can't get to, you have relationships. So that's leverage, right? That's leverage to compete at a higher level is relationships. Relationships, leverage to compete. Experience and the efficiency that brings, it's ability to compete. You've been doing it for a long time. If you saved up your coins or copper, or you're older and you got the disposable income, that's another way to compete. And they can't hang. So like that's how I would figure it out. And you can figure that out if you're clever enough, or you hire a coach. You can figure that out in any niche. It's not easy, but that's how you really win in a competitive market, is you make yourself very difficult to compete with by doing those things. Those things make you very difficult to compete with. And then that's how you reduce the playing field to, like, you reduce it from, oh, I'm competing with 100% of the people in this niche, to, oh, I'm competing with 10% of the people in this niche, to, oh, I'm competing with 1%, like, of the people in this niche, to, oh, I'm competing by myself. And when you take those to higher extremes, you only end up competing with yourself. What's up, Technically T? Yeah, you're not doing your mod duties right now. It's like, appreciate it. Geekdom, you're not doing your mod duties, you're doing your taxes. Appreciate you. Let's see. Were the two people I could reach out to in my early career, Tim and Daryl. They would come later. The two people that I could reach to early in my career were Amy Landino and also my friend David DeFranco. So David DeFranco and Amy Landino were basically like early in my career, like the only like two YouTubers that I felt comfortable with and that I could talk to and that I didn't feel like I was bothering. And they really they helped me a lot, but I also constantly didn't want to nag them or ask them for things. Later, I would become friends with Tim, Daryl, and Sean, and I guess we became the 4 horsemen of YouTube at that point. KariTube says, these live streams are super valuable, Roberto. I'm really sold on Awesome Creator Academy. I'm going to make room in my budget for it. The creator journey solo is gruesome and lonely. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard out here in these creator streets to be by yourself. It just is. And so don't feel bad. If you feel like what you're going through as a creator, maybe these live streams help you if you feel like that. But like that, like, if you feel like you're going through, it's pretty normal. It's pretty normal. Salma says, how about audience experience optimization? I could see that. So that we get to AEO instead of SEO. I could see that. Tenji Social says, I work on celebrities and high profile people for years with TMZ. Are street videos saturated now? I want to do long form videos in that style, as my short form videos are working thoughts. So like on going to long form with these street interviews, I would say that the thing that is becoming more interesting is I think you can do street interviews, and then you could start to take these people that you did the street interviews with. And as long as you like you obviously have their release and their contact information, I think it'd be interesting for you to put together panels of people so that you have some combination of like people that one, you can make compilations out of short form. You can make compilations out of short form if you ask a bunch of people the same questions. So that's number one. Number two, in terms of long form, if you can do street interviews where they take you somewhere or you take them somewhere and y'all talk, or if you do a walk and talk street interview and you do it in the style of Condé Nast, where like you ask like 21 questions, like the Kylie, the Kendall Jenner one comes to mind, like the because I think like Condé Nast, whatever, I think they did like 10 million views on that or something, like where you do it like in one take and you ask someone 21 questions in one take or something, and they give you a bunch of short questions, but it's really quick. It ends up being like a 12 or 15-minute video for 21 questions or less than that. That's a good long form video that has that same feel and vibe to it, especially if it can be in one take. And that can be pretty cool. And yeah. So I think that could be an idea. Daima Tadachi. Yeah. Daima Tadachi's actually done coaching with me. His channel is doing successful. Good to see you here, my brother. Yes, YouTube is promoting live streams and it's working. Yeah, segmentation is a thing. VCG Construction. Thank you for the $20 super chat, my friend. Roberto Blake, so much gold in your advice. Hope everyone appreciates this as much as I do. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of these super chats as we wrap up here. Corey McLean with the $9.99 super chat without even a question. That's love. That's support. I appreciate you. Bruce Rain. Love that name. Bruce Rain. A lot of heat in this one. Thank you for the gems. I appreciate you. Drifting Adam says, I do weekly retro video game news. Any suggestions for thumbnails, titles, something that can't really be planned for? You might need to, for the retro games, I would actually start using ChatGPT, create my own prompt that gives me a certain style. And now I have a way to spin up thumbnails really easy for that game. That looks really good. Put my own stylized text next to it. And then boom, I've got a live stream that works and stuff like that. So, I mean, so I think that's pretty, like, I think if you spend a weekend, not ChatGPT, Midjourney, if you spend a weekend with Midjourney, you spend a weekend in Midjourney developing your own style through prompts, and by staying in Midjourney chat rooms and then finding a style, then you decide to start making those for different video game characters. Now you'll have custom prompts of your own that can duplicate a certain style that you've developed through the prompt development. And now in Midjourney, you can generate these thumbnails really fast for your streams, because now you're just leveraging the AI and you can tell it what you want. And it can be unique enough because now it can be down to even a certain pose for a video game character. And so boom, you can take advantage of that. Like if I was a gamer, I start abusing Midjourney for my thumbnails. If I'm a gamer, I would be absolutely abusing Midjourney for my thumbnails. If I'm a Star Wars YouTuber, I'd absolutely be abusing Midjourney for my thumbnails. You just watched me on Mark's podcast. Thank you so much. Yeah. Corey McLean with the $4.99 super chat. 5,300 subs. Congratulations. Averaging 115 views a week. How can I come up with better video ideas to gain more attention from new viewers or be suggested? First of all, I would look at the videos that performed the best historically and then reverse engineer a lot of those topics. That's what I did. So like when I wanted to grow my YouTube channel, and this will be one of the last things I show you because I'm losing my voice now. When I wanted to grow my YouTube channel, what I did was, and you can do this with advanced analytics, I went to the metric for subscribers, and then like if I just pick like 2022, I'll just pick the whole year of 2022, right? Subscribers by content. And I go to that. I can look at what videos gave me the most subscribers, and then I could just say, okay, I will make content similar to anything that gave me hundreds or thousands of subscribers. And that will grow the content as far as subscribers, if subscribers is a goal. In terms of views, though, let's just use 2023. If I go to views and I just go look at what's performing the best on my channel in 2023, and I go by views instead of subscribers, and I look at that and click on this and I go, okay, what gave me the most views? I'll just reverse engineer the title and the topics and maybe similar thumbnails to whatever produced the most views, because whatever produced the most views in whatever time period I want to use, whether it's this year or the last 90 days or the last 28 days or the last month, whatever produced the most views is what I should take advantage of. And when I go into my analytics and I go into audience, whatever my audience is watching more of, which means when I go and I look at channels similar to mine, it says, hey, your audience is watching this, I should make more videos similar to the best performing videos out of whatever my audience has been watching from other people in the last 7 days. And so if your answer is how can I come up with better video ideas, this is a good place to start. Then if I am really stuck, I can take those things that my audience is watching from other people and even the best stuff they watched from me, and I can individually take those things into something like ChatGPT for free and say, hey, ChatGPT, give me 10 video ideas that are similar to this. Then it'll give me 10 video ideas. So it's like, great. Pick some of those ideas. Say, write me a title that is 50 characters or less and easy to read and make it attention getting. And then it will kind of write a title for me. And then I'm like, okay, great. That's the title for this video. Excellent. Then I could plug that into YouTube, search for it, see what comes up in terms of thumbnails, and see if there's a thumbnail out there and a video out there that's similar to this in any way that has like 100,000 views or 1 million views, and then go, okay, I have to make a better thumbnail than that. Here's a similar title. I'm on the right track. I can validate this idea. So I would validate the idea and look at how many views an idea has. So first of all, I can say, okay, my audience is already watching stuff like this. Are there any videos, and are they recent? How recent are they that also get views like this, so that I know it's not a fluke? I validated the idea. Great. Now I also have a standard for how good the thumbnail needs to be, and I have a validated idea. Now I need a good title. I can use ChatGPT to help me get the title. Then I can look at that and see if there's anything that indicates in YouTube by searching that that title is a good title that could get views. And if it's similar enough to what's already been getting views that my audience would click on. So now I'm like, okay, I validated the idea. So I validated the topic. I've now validated a title. And now I've validated what the standard of thumbnail should be. And all of this also by looking at the last 7 days of what people have been watching, I know that I should be able to still capitalize on decent timing by doing that and my search. So we can validate topic, title, thumbnail, and timing. And I just gave you an outlined process for how to validate a topic, how to validate the quality of a title, how to validate the standard that a thumbnail should be, and how to know that there's still time to capitalize on this video. Topic, title, thumbnail, timing. You can validate each of those things. There you go. Another YouTube problem solved. And I think that's a good place to end the live stream. I have one housekeeping announcement before we go. So for those of you who are interested, no obligation, but for those of you who are mad interested. Well, again, I said with ChatGPT, I know there's a warning on checking its accuracy if you write scripts, but for titles, like I said, for titles, none to worry about. But anyway, for those of you who want to make money with brand deals, on the 25th of February, Saturday, February 25th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am hosting a brand deals workshop. This is going to be a 90-minute workshop, private Q&A, and you can get all the information linked in the description. I have a link to this workshop. You will learn about how to get sponsored content. We have an outline here of what you will learn. You'll see how brands analyze influencers. I'm going to show you a $300 a month tool that brands are using to look at us. You do not need to buy this tool. I'm saying brands pay hundreds of dollars a month to audit us. I'll show you the auditing tool that they use, how to attract sponsors, how to reach out to sponsors, and how to pitch to brands. You're going to get access to email swipe files that you can use to fill in the blank, copy and paste to reach out to brands. You're going to learn how to negotiate your contracts, how to price and package brand deals, how to build your media kit, red flags for working with brands so that you don't get screwed or scammed, and we'll have a private Q&A. I've listed out all the details. You can go to awesomecreatoracademy.com/brand-deals-live to get the information. This workshop is 10 days from now, February 25th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can sign up for the workshop. It is a paid workshop. I also have a bonus for everybody who attends. We have 100 seats for it. We have 70 seats left. So I'd love to see you there. Everyone who attends will get the replay. It is a paid workshop. The link is in the description down below, and you will get all of the details for that. So this is an opportunity. It's a paid opportunity to learn more about brand deals. The upside is if you go through this workshop and then you also get the free bonuses, for attending the workshop, you can make your money back if you get a brand deal. That's the thing about it. I also answer all your questions as far as who's this for, more about me and why I'm qualified for this, what's included. And also, for anyone who's like, well, can't I get this information for free? There's a lot you can't get for free in this because, again, one of the things is I'm going to open up a tool I pay $300 a month for to audit influencers the way a sponsor does. So you're not going to find that information for free on the internet because nobody paying $300 a month for that tool is going to give you the content around that and what the tool analyzes for free because it's brands. Influencers don't pay $300 a month for software, brands do. So that's an example of it. And again, there's other things you're going to get, like the email swipe files already done for you. And we're also going to do a private Q&A, which means you get to ask one-on-one questions. Answers to your own question is something that isn't going to be out there probably for free in most cases. And since it'll be a smaller workshop, then these live streams that's what the benefit is. So you can find that linked in the description down below. That's the end of the stream. That's the little pitch there. Hey, like, oh, you're selling stuff. Of course you are. Anyway, again, that's just for anybody who's trolling at the end. But I really appreciate everybody. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the amazing questions. Thank you for being part of this community. I'm actually going to try to stream more. I'm going to be streaming probably at least once or twice a week. So that's the thing. Anyway, I will catch all of you on the next one. Stay awesome. And remember, keep on pushing publish. It's absolutely worth it. Take care.